We're going to do a Culver's interview on an out cue. And we welcome you to the MVL Game of the Week, Week 9, presented by Community Bank. Hank Alfman, Doug Clifford with you in Thornville at Sheridan High School, where it's the Tri-Valley Scotties invading town with a 6-2 record and winners of 5 consecutive, taking on the undefeated Sheridan Generals at 8-0. Doug, it doesn't get any better than this. Big School Division title potentially on the line. It will be wrapped up if Sheridan gets it done this evening.
Well, we're fortunate to have this game toward the end of the season, Week 9. Even adds to the drama, so yeah, it's a big-time game.
These two teams very familiar with success, obviously, over the years. And it always seems to come down to these two towards the end of the season. And here we are again this year for that championship in the Big School Division. Both teams are already playoff bound. They've clinched playoff spots. Sheridan undefeated 8-0, just steamrolling teams. 4 consecutive shutouts. That's eye-popping. Their defense is for real. Tri-Valley on the other side coming in very hot offensively, Doug. Over 50 points per game, 3 straight. 38 points or more in 5 straight during this 5-game winning streak.
Well, I think it's going to come down to, can Tri-Valley shut down the passing attack? We've seen Caden Sheridan unleash for the Generals. And can the Generals stop that tailback for Tri-Valley?
Both teams have very balanced offenses. Jaden Wallace leads the area in the Muskogee Valley League in rushing for Tri-Valley, so that's somebody to keep an eye on as you watch and listen to this one here tonight. Sheridan tries to slow him down. And Max Lyle is also got an arm. These guys are juniors, and they put up stats. He's the leading passer in the MVL.
Well, there's nothing better for a head coach than to have a junior quarterback that good because he's coming back. But that means nothing now. It's tonight, just tonight.
And if you want to know something else before we kick this one off for you, it's been 8 straight wins for Tri-Valley here at Sheridan. Not since 2005 have the Generals beat the Scotties here.
When you told me that, Hank, I thought it was going to be like maybe 5 years. I couldn't believe it's been since 2005. That's unbelievable.
We'll see if Sheridan can stop that streak and stay undefeated as well and go to 9-0 here on their home turf. Now let's listen to Coach Paul Culver of the Generals.
I find one of the things, if you really look at the history in terms of the MVL, that Tri-Valley and Sheridan are not charter members. Like, we haven't been in there for the longest time. We came in '66, and Tri-Valley's in that window of time, give or take a few years. But yet you're now talking 2 teams that have 2 of the most league titles. So it talks to the intensity that rivalry built very quickly. My dad's first win in 1981 was against Tri-Valley. And so I think that helped set the tone. They had an excellent coach there named Jim Kaiser. Won a league title, I believe, in '89. And like I said, I played him in some dog fights, and then when Coach Buttermore came, it just took off like a rocket ship. And it's been incredible, the intensity, but yet again, the mutual respect that you hope for when you have a high school competition. So I was nervous about the defense, not in terms of our schemes, not in terms of our coaching, but when you have 3 returning starters and yet you have expectations that you're going to win a league title and advance in the playoffs, you have to have a championship defense. And so I was a little nervous early. We gave up some points to some awfully good competition. Licking Valley and Watkins have shown that. And so when I was making those quotes, I still had not seen that team that was going to make those championship stops. When it's late third quarter, early fourth quarter, the game's on the line, somebody's got to step up and make a play because their coaches have had time to adjust. Their coaches have now re-dissected your defense and your adjustments, and you need kids to make plays. And you started to see that in weeks 4, 5, 6, and then now weeks 6, 7, 8, we've taken that next step. First thing that pops is their explosiveness. I mean, an All-Ohio quarterback, All-Ohio wide receiver, and now this tailback's All-Ohio level. Like, he's terrific. The level of explosive plays. But then the thing about explosive plays is teams have athletes, and so they get explosive plays, but can they execute and can they move the chains against a good defense? And that's the thing that I see different from them and just a team that makes big plays, is they execute across all the phases of the game, a true spread offense. Everybody's catching the ball, they run the ball effectively, and even though they get those chunk plays, they also will go 3, 4, 5, 6 plays of 4 yards, 2 yards, and they don't panic. Some teams would start like chucking it deep or something silly like that. And so they're just a terrific offense. And then their defense is fantastic. It always has been. How sound it is. You can't get them off balance. You can't get them out of alignment. They don't miss tackles. They get off blocks at a high level.
Back here on the Community Bank Game of the Week, here on the MVL Game of the Week with Doug Clifford. I'm Hank Alpin, and let me tell you, Doug, Coach Culver, he's ready to go. So is everybody else here tonight.
No doubt about it. These guys, they're born and raised MVL brats. Now they're head coaches, and very good head coaches. They're very good players. So, I think that part of this league competition, that's where the tradition means so important to both these teams. These guys are homegrown talent, and they bleed red, black, and gold, and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It should be a great game.
It should be. It's lining up to be just that. Sheridan 8-0 undefeated coming in. Tri-Valley winners is 5 straight, 6-2. Both teams playoff bound, very strong once again. You look at overall MVL championships. Sheridan won their 20th MVL championship a year ago. Tri-Valley has 12 to their credit. So here they go again. Somebody's going to probably put another notch in that belt as well with the win tonight. Although John Glenn has something to say about that maybe next week against Tri-Valley.
That's right. They're hiding in the weeds back there. They'll be in a formidable foe in week 10.
So we're just a few minutes from kickoff here in Thornville at Paul Culver Stadium. Just heard Paul Culver. He's 3-4 in 7 chances against Tri-Valley, including a big win last year by a point, 14-13. More on that game, how it played out later. Meanwhile, on the other side, you had a chance to talk with Cam West, head coach of Tri-Valley. He's in his 4th year. He's 1-2 so far against the Generals.
This is his 9th year at Tri-Valley as a coach. He served there as an assistant for 5 years. He was a quarterback when Justin Buttermore turned his program from being a good point game for everybody else at a conference into being a contender and a champion. And so, he's kind of where this program started. It's rebirth, so now he's in charge of it, so I guess that's full circle.
Oh, yeah. We'll step aside and take a break. We have these two teams ready to square off here in a matter of moments, and it's expected to be a dandy for sure. Let's see if it comes down to the wire when Doug and I come back right here on the MVL Game of the Week, presented by Community Bank. That's good. Ooh, is that when I do that?
Yeah.
Ooh, so leave these headsets on. Do this. So the game last year played out. Gargis, he got hurt in the game last year. Gargis. Heindel. That's a familiar Tri-Valley name. Gargis. Dylan Pierce. Let's see. Lanning Taylor. Hindus, maybe. Just let us know. And we are underway. MVL Game of the Week, Week 9. Thornville, the site tonight. Kickoff, 68 degrees, and a beautiful return by Sheridan out to the 30-yard line. The home team kicking things off on the right foot.
Oh, no doubt about that. That's a great way to start. Bryson Ruff. Nice return. Senior running back. Brought that thing back out.
And the Generals are setting up with pretty good field position after that run back to the 30-yard line. The Generals, again, undefeated, 8-0. They just steamrolled Maysville a week ago, 48-0. They have pitched 4 consecutive shutouts in their 8-0 start. Their defense, when you add it all together, only allows 7 points per game. Their offense, not too shabby as well. They're going to start out with it first. 4 receivers, twin receivers each direction, 1 lone back, and it's going to be Caden Sheridan, the quarterback for Sheridan, calling his own number with the left shoulder down for about a half a dozen.
Boy, has an outstanding block on the outside that time by number 11, Evan Anderson, the starting wide receiver. He sealed that corner right there, had that guy blocked to the inside, and allowed Sheridan to get out. Nice block.
It'll be 2nd down and 4, so Caden Sheridan, he has running abilities, and that could be a problem for Tri-Valley tonight, Doug. Last week in Tri-Valley's 52-35 shootout win over the Electrics, they gave up 191 yards rushing to quarterback Talon Preston in the win. And back to the ground game go the Generals this time. The ball carrier gets it and fights hard for a 1st down out past the 40. That's Munyon as he points for the 1st down.
I was going to say it's got to be Munyon. Nobody runs like that. Well, that Tri-Valley had him stopped short of the 1st down, and he just refused to quit. His legs kept moving and picked it up by about a yard. Inside 3 for Tri-Valley's Gavin Spiker at the nose, Logan McClellan at tackle, and Chris Gargas at the end. Number 53 is Gargas, 66 McClellan, and 64 is Spiker. They look very athletic to me.
Justin Munyon on that 1st down run there, Doug, of 6. He had 3 touchdowns rushing on the ground against Philo 2 weeks ago when you and I were last together after I took a week off last week. As we have another Munyon run, this time Tri-Valley contains it for 4.
And I can hear the original Coach Culver right now saying, pound the rock. You got to pound the rock to win the games in the MVL. And, buddy, I tell you what, his son, now the head coach, that's what they've come out to do. They're running the football. I think the scouting report from Philo is going to mean a lot to them tonight. They've come out to establish that running attack. But I tell you what, don't fall asleep on this quarterback, buddy, or you'll be lined up for the extra point.
They'll give Munyon 5 on 1st down, and you're so right, Doug. They're going to fake here, and here comes Sheridan throwing for the first time tonight, and it's a completion and a 1st down on Tri-Valley side of the field, and taken down at the 44-yard line. Making that catch is number 5, A.J. Winders. As we get it correct tonight, A.J., there you go, my man. Sorry about that from earlier this year, mispronouncing that last name. Let's take a look at that replay for you, and I tell you, it was a great connection as Sheridan rolled out to the right and delivered on the money.
I watched these guys in pregame warm-up, and the passes, and even in pregame, the ball's in the air. The receivers hadn't even made their cut yet. They turn around, the ball hit him in the chest. I mean, it was amazing. The 1st and 2nd team quarterback are very accurate for Sheridan.
3 receivers set on 1st and 10 at the Scotty 44. Back to the ground game with Munyon. Munyon to lose 1 would-be tackler in the backfield and somehow scampers out on the sideline on the far side for a decent chunk.
Boy, if you're just going to reach out and touch Munyon with a hand tackle, you just might as well wave goodbye. You're not going to bring him down.
Munyon gets 3 on that one. And you're right, he's 6'1", 195 pounds. He's a big back who has speed with that power.
Boy, this drive is about as methodical as it could be. It's just 5 yards, 4 yards, 6 yards at a time. No big flashy plays yet, but everything is positive yards for the Generals so far.
Munyon again, the deep back. A direct snap to Sheridan in the gun. It's a handoff to Munyon, and Munyon plows forward up the gut, and he's close to another General 1st down.
You know, Hank, as a defensive coach all my life, the thing I couldn't tolerate was for someone to hand the ball off and run up the center's butt through the heart of our defense and pick up 5 or 10 yards. Because, I mean, it's right in the middle of the defense. How could that happen? And that's exactly what that play was. It looks like they're about a foot short of another first down.
Nothing flashy.
Nothing flashy.
Ground and pound. It's been all runs but one pass so far in this opening drive. We are 3.5 minutes into it. Generals with the ball marching down the field, and they'll go back to Munyon, left side of the line, and he'll get that first down on 3rd and short.
Number 20 has come to play tonight.
You know, Munyon leads the team in rushing with 9 rushing touchdowns, and his yardage is near 500 as he continues to add to it here in this first quarter.
Well, here's the play to look for. Look for Caden Sheridan to pull that ball out and take off around the corner. I mean, they have the defense set up for it so perfectly right now. They have to stop Munyon or it's going to be a long night for their defense.
3 receivers, Munyon to the left of Sheridan. He gets it again, goes right wide side on a sweep play around the end, and he'll get nearly another first down run as he's inside the 25 of the Dogs.
Well, I tell you what, these guys are coming off the ball. They are blocking people. They're sustaining their blocks. What a job.
And Munyon's going to get a much-needed breather here on 2nd down and about 1 at the Tri-Valley 22.
An offensive line of Davis, Backus, Robinette, Showalter, Hunter Seitz, and they are taking control of the line of scrimmage.
2nd down and short. Will it continue? Out of the game, Munyon to get a breather, and he'll hand it off to another back, and they're inside the 15 to the 14 with a first down run, and nice speed as he hit the hole. Zach Hines, the senior back, his first tote.
Well, you know, if you're Zach Hines, you play behind one of the best backs in this conference, so when you get your opportunity, you're going to run hard.
And they have a plethora of backs in that backfield, a stable, you could say.
Well, yeah, I know all about their plethoras.
You would.
Bless their hearts. They got a bunch.
Might have kicked you out of coaching at some point.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Hank.
Here we go back to the ground game with Hines. Hines, though, stacked up this time for maybe just a yard or 2 at best.
Chris Gargas, the defensive end, number 53, finally made a defensive play for the Scotties. That's the first decent defensive play they've made tonight.
And they need to continue to do it again because Sheridan threatening on this opening drive. It started back at their own 30-yard line. They'd nearly taken half the quarter to get down the field.
Well, I mean, this has just been a very business-like, we're going to stick it in your ear drive all the way down the field.
Sheridan waiting for the snap with Hines still in there. There's the lone back. Fake to him. Bootleg left. Fires that side, and it's incomplete. So he misfired to his receiver at the 10-yard line.
Ryan Kuhn was the intended receiver, and he was open, but he wouldn't have gotten much yardage, I don't think, because number 23 for Tri-Valley, Ashton Sensenbaugh, let him a little, oh, by the way, I'm still right here behind you hit after that ball went past him.
Kuhn is a tight end for the Generals listed on this offense. First time they looked his direction. So with that incompletion now 3rd and 8.
This is the most difficult down and distance situation the Generals have faced in this drive, 3rd and 8.
4 receivers to each side. Out of the gun looking to pass. Now in trouble, and he's going to be sacked is Caden Sheridan right near the line of scrimmage. He somehow got back to about the 14. But you're looking at a 4th down situation, and will they attempt a field goal? You're needing 10 yards, loss of 2.
Gargas, number 53, put the initial heat on from his right defensive end spot. Here comes the field goal team right now. And he chased Sheridan into the arms of his teammates. What a perfect time for a big play for the Scotties.
And the Generals will line up what will be a 31-yard field goal attempt here at the 5:10 mark and rolling in this opening quarter. On to do the chores for the kicking. Big number 73, Dominic McKinney, the sophomore, blasts it through the pipes. And Sheridan's on the board for a trifecta field goal.
No doubt about it. What a clutch kick by the sophomore. Nice job, Dominic McKinney.
So McKinney gets Sheridan on the board first. They were driving down the field there, Doug, mainly doing it on the ground, sprinkling in a couple passes here and there. But it was the ground game that got him these points. But give Tri-Valley on the other side credit. Cam Weston, his 4th year as head coach, 9th year at the school. He got his team to D it up when they had to prevent a touchdown and hold them to 3.
Well, that's about the best they could hope for in that drive, because I thought the Generals were going to pump that thing across the goal line at any time. What a key sack that was on Sheridan on 3rd down and 8.
So you get a kicking game special teams play right there to get points on the board. And we didn't get into the matchup what happened last year between these two teams at Jack Anderson Stadium, where it was a 14-13 Sheridan 1-point win, and it came down to the special teams in the kicking game there. Tri-Valley had an extra point blocked when they went up 13-7 late in the 3rd quarter on a Jaden Wallace touchdown run. Sheridan came back later in the 4th with 2.5 minutes to go, 2:38 to be exact, with a game-winning touchdown pass, as they would end up kicking that extra point through, and that would be your difference in a 1-point win. So look to see if the kicking game is a big thing tonight. Here we go on the ensuing kickoff. The Scotties able to get it, but not able to return it. They'll have decent field position themselves near the 35.
Wow, that was quite a play. It looks like it was number 80 on the kickoff coverage that time. Hayden Henry. Man, you talk about a wedge buster. He went through a couple of blockers and tripped that ball carrier up. I thought he was going to take that thing and put his foot in the carpet and cut upfield and make a nice return. Hayden Henry stopped that in his tracks.
So Sheridan goes 56 yards on their opening possession, stalls out, get a field goal. What will Tri-Valley's offense do right here? This is a team that has scored over 50 points in 3 straight games, 38 or more in 5 straight during their 5-game winning streak. And Jaden Wallace, the leading rusher in the Muskegon Valley League, rips off a first down, double-digit run to start their offensive night.
Well, I mean, you could have driven my Ford Explorer Ultra Max truck through that thing if I still had it. What a hole.
Wallace has over 1,100 yards on the ground coming into this one at 11:29, averaging about 8 yards a pop and 14 rushing touchdowns, 4 receiving to boot, 18 total on the year for Wallace, and he's bottled up this time as the General defense greets him after 2.
You know, we've seen Sheridan play, and the thing that impressed me most about their game, besides Caden Sheridan, all those pinpoint deep passes, was how their defense was always in the right position. And that time, with no fake, no deception on that play, the Sheridan defense was waiting for Wallace at the point of attack. He only picked up a yard.
So they only give him 1. 46-yard line for Tri-Valley as they're threatening Sheridan territory already. Quick pass in the middle of the field. There was triple coverage in there, and it's harmlessly incomplete after it hits the ground off of a fingertip downfield.
Well, Lyle definitely forced that ball in there. I mean, had it been a perfect pass, it may have been caught, but I mean, that was a crowd of guys, and most of those guys were wearing red.
4 receivers here on 3rd and 9. And, nice segue. You mentioned Lyle right there, Max Lyle Jr. This is a team dominated by juniors at the skill positions in Lyle and Jaden Wallace, for example. Lyle leads the MVL in passing yards with 1631. His TD to interception ratio, 21 touchdowns in the air, just 1 interception. Here he goes looking to pass. He's going to go to a check down on the right, and it's caught over there by Wallace, and Wallace is going to be ankle tackled after taking the defender Munyon for a couple-yard ride, but he's going to be well short.
Well, that's one of those tackles where you don't care how ugly it is, as long as you don't let go and the guy is on the carpet at the end of the play, short of the first down. Great job that time by Munyon, because I think had Wallace pulled that foot out of there, that would have been a first down.
So the Scotties pick up 1 first down on their very first offensive play on a run by Wallace, and then Wallace gets contained on the ground and then catching it there on 3rd down well short. They'll have to punt it away. First punt of the night. And this is angled, trying to kick this one away from Winders, and they do just that. So Winders does not have a return, and it'll be inside the 25-yard line. See where they mark it for the next possession. To the chagrin of the Sheridan faithful up here.
Well, I know you're going to find this hard to believe that John Ulmer, the PA guy, was complaining. But it was a little premature, John. They had it marked correctly. They thought they were going to mark it where the ball rolled out of bounds instead of where it crossed the line, in flight. So pass a little blood pressure medicine down the table here. John will be fine.
Yeah, he should be. He definitely would be if the Generals keep scoring points. 3-0, they lead it. four-receiver attack here on 1st and 10 as they mark it at the 25. Low snap, handled by Caden. Caden Sheridan puts that shoulder down again as he runs forward past the 30 for 6 more to the 31-yard line. Again, this is going to be a huge key of emphasis for this Tri-Valley defense, trying to find a way to bottle up Caden Sheridan when he wants to run the football.
I think that was an ad lib. The ball was mishandled on the snap, and he had missed any kind of a handoff. But I know number 30 made that tackle for Carter Dinan for Tri-Valley, and he got the worst end of that deal. He got pounded.
2nd and 4. Sheridan's going to throw it,
man.
and it's batted down. Great defense with the hands extended by number 6, Cam Carnes, the outside linebacker.
Boy, he read that all the way. He knew he wasn't going to get to Sheridan on the pass rush. Sheridan's arm went back, and his arms went up. Excellent. I tell you what, Hank, it's so much fun to watch these teams because they're so well coached. They do everything they're supposed to do. Their players are in position. I'm just glad I don't have to be the coach that goes home unhappy tonight. But, man, what a game we have tonight.
On Friday the 13th, no less, of course. Wouldn't want it any other way. Here we go, 3rd and 5, and the Generals will keep this one forward with the QB keeper. And Caden's going to be short by a few yards, so that Tri-Valley defense a little shaky at the beginning of this one. Give Sheridan's offense credit. They went down the field with the ground game. Tri-Valley made some adjustments here on the second possession.
Well, I was waiting for Coach Culver to call that play where the quarterback fakes, keeps it, and takes off. They had no place to go. Tri-Valley was waiting for it.
And that's going to mean a punt for the first time tonight for the Generals. And it's Justin Munyon, one of the area's leading punters, averaging about 37 yards per boot. And it's going to be fair caught at the Tri-Valley 34-yard line with no return for the return man in Carter Dinan, the junior. So we'll flip the script. We now have back-to-back punts. Defense is settling in as darkness settles in here late in the first.
This is going to be a field position game. Sheridan's opening drive, they made it down to the 10 and stalled there. But this is going to be a field position game. I think these two defenses are both very good, and the team that gets to play on the short field is going to have the big advantage tonight.
We'll see what the Scotty offense comes out with for their second possession. They got 4 receivers here lined up, and it's going to be a keep play. As running forward for only a couple is the ball carrier, Cade Heindel. He's a wide receiver, and he lined up in the back for that direct snap.
He ran directly in the waiting arms of Darren Vogelmeyer, the linebacker, senior, 5'10", 185-pounder. Very short gain.
So 2nd down and 8. You see the Scotties trying to establish the run game. They've been known for passing over the years, as Mr. Cam West, the head coach, once a quarterback would know.
Oh, my. I watched him play when he was a pup. Mm-hmm. He was really good.
Sensational player he was. You got Tri-Valley on the map, and they've continued to not look back ever since the past couple decades. Meanwhile, Sheridan's been on the map for about 4 decades, and they do it here as they come up with a nice defensive stop.
Well, that's one team's leading rusher tackling the other team's leading rusher, and you're saying, yeah, so you think you're good, huh? Run over me again. Tackled by Munyon.
Well, you see, we don't have much time to breathe almost here, Doug, because they line up. Here's Tri-Valley quickly trying to run a play.
They do not huddle. They get the call from the sideline. It's signaled in. All 11 players, everybody's looking to the sideline except the center.
Unfortunately, he did give us a chance to breathe. Trying to get that play call. 5 receivers at his disposal. No backs in the backfield. Look at the pass. Plenty of time. Off the hands of the receiver. It's intercepted by Sheridan at the 47. Down the sidelines and inside the 30. Down to the 26-yard line is the Generals. Ben Fox with the INT.
Well, make that 21 touchdown passes and 2 interceptions now.
So that one was a catchable football. Favorite receiver in Ashton Sensabaugh, one of the leading receivers, in fact, in the MVL last year. He's been held in check more this year. Teams have adapted to him, had that one, and could not corral it.
And I have to say, the obligatory, that's why coaches do that tip drill in the summertime. Because that's exactly what happened. The ball got tipped off the receiver's hands, and Fox was in the right place at the right time. Short field time.
And you have 4 receivers now for Sheridan. 25 seconds left to go in our opening quarter, looking for more to add to this lead. Empty backfield, faking back there, running to his left, firing towards the back corner of the end zone, and he throws a souvenir out of that end zone, incomplete.
I think Mike Turns was the closest guy to that ball, and he's 10 yards behind the field down there.
So, well.
Good play. It's a good play by Sheridan.
Yep.
He didn't have what he wanted. Line up, play again.
Play it safe. You do what you got to do right there.
Yeah.
Nothing was working downfield.
That's a classic call. Come out on a quick turnaround, come back out before the defense has a chance to get their feet underneath them, go for the big play. They did. It just didn't work.
So clock stop now with 17 seconds left to go in this first quarter of a 3-0 Generals lead. As you have 3 receivers out there, 2 to the right, 1 back, and that's Munyon going to get the carry, put the head down, hit a couple tacklers forward for a few yards. That should be our last play of the quarter. And with that, that'll mean a 3rd down and long for the Sheridan Generals coming up here on our Community Bank Game of the Week. The MVL Game of the Week presented by Community Bank. It is 3-0 in favor of the host Sheridan Generals, looking to beat Tri-Valley for the first time at home since 2005. We'll come back for the second 12 minutes right after this.
I'm exhausted.
All ready for the second quarter to get underway. Before we do so, throw this out there for you. Coming up at halftime, CA Music House. Play music for life. Join us for the CA Music House halftime show between these both 2 schools and their respective bands. Right now, back on the field, starting the second quarter, 3rd and 8 for Sheridan. As they threaten to score, they'll go to the air, and it's Winders with a completion over there inside the 15. He works his way for a first down, Doug, as we welcome you back here to these 2 teams going at it toe-to-toe.
I'll tell you what, there were some big-time moves that time by Winders for no more of a yardage gain than that was. All those moves made that first down possible.
And so a 3rd down conversion, a huge one at that. Last year in the in the win for Sheridan over Tri-Valley by a point, they were only 3 for 13 on 3rd downs. The Tri-Valley defense was very good last year, but fell short, losing by 1. This Tri-Valley defense getting tested again tonight. And Sheridan converted there on 3rd down. 3 receivers, 2 to the left. You have Kuhn, the tight end, right. Munyon in the backfield, gets the delivery, and he's going to deliver a touchdown as he hurdles over a tackler around the knees for the score.
Did you see that hurdle?
Munyon's 10th touchdown of the year is a big one, and it's now 9-0 Generals.
Or if you're a defensive back, do you tackle that kid high and get ran over, or do you try to take him low? When you take him low, he's just going to step right over you.
So a 14-yard touchdown run for Munyon here, early part of the second quarter in the opening minute. Extra point on the way for point number 10 is good by McKinney. And so the Generals starting off strong in this second quarter, starting off strong in this game in general.
Short field time. You had that turnover, got the ball, about the 25 or 30-yard line. Man, you can't give teams like Sheridan that kind of an advantage.
So they go up 10-0, cashing in on the interception thrown by Max Lyle. First turnover of the game was a big one. And Munyon makes them pay with a 14-yard touchdown run for a short field 26-yard drive.
But did you see the way he didn't slow down when he hurdled that guy? It just looked like he went over a high hurdle on a track meet.
And he was like a runaway train.
He didn't look like he jumped. He just looked like he lifted his legs up and he was over him.
And so the Generals up 2 scores. Sheridan converting on that turnover. Let's see what Tri-Valley does on their next possession. We'll remind you here, Foxfire Schools, free public alternative education serving students grades K through 12. Kokonis Furniture and Mattress First always make it easier for you to furnish your home. Your instant replays are brought to you by the Ohio Educational Credit Union. And Fink's Harley Davidson. Live to ride to live. Fink's Quality Cars and RVs, quick as a wink. Deal with Fink. And Fink's Easy Leasing and Rental.
You know, Tri-Valley has not had that short field opportunity as of yet. And they may not on this unless they get a nice run back.
McKinney kicks this one away, tries to corner this one, and it's going to be fielded about the 11-yard line, cutting across the field. There's some daylight, spinning at the 25 and short of the 30. Looked like that return could have went a lot further than it did, but a good run back for the Dogs regardless.
Well, I'll tell you, Hank, there's some serious hitting going on these special teams. I saw one of the Sheridan Generals just get planted by a block that time, and I mean, he went flying. These guys have come to hit tonight, no doubt about it.
These two teams known for both sides of the ball, offense and defensive firepower and power. When it comes to what you just said, Doug, hitting.
Tri-Valley has to respond here. I mean, they haven't been able to maintain possession of the ball whatsoever.
Out of the shotgun, handing this one off. And Wallace with a full head of steam, and he's able to get 3 out to the 31-yard line as they try to get him on track.
You know, I wish I had John Almer as my PA guy because he yells where the ball's going. I mean, it's how handy. I mean,
definitely is a nice
I heard him yell,
helping
middle.
assistant. You have twin receivers left side on 2nd and 7 lined up for the Dogs. As Lyle looks over for that play call. Wallace still in the backfield directly behind him. See if they come back out running. They do. They pitch this one over to Wallace right side. And the Generals, their pursuit is great as they hold him to maybe 2 yards tops.
They contain the sweep. The guy on the outside sets the edge. Guys on the inside look like a red picket fence standing out there, and they just wait for the ball carrier to get to him. Gain of 1 or 2. Great job on the defense.
And now it's 3rd down for the Tri-Valley offense. They need 6 yards. Got to get out to the 38 to extend this series.
I think we're going to have to see Lyle with this passing attack become effective.
Lyle looked right, spin move, looks left, dumps it to Wallace. Wallace with a little cut, and look at the power. He's past the 40, 45, 50, 45 of Sheridan and tripped up. And Jaden Wallace shows you his explosiveness and power as well.
Oh, no doubt about it.
And so Wallace tripped up at the General 41-yard line, converting that 3rd down and 6, a big gainer for 26.
That's the first happy thing that's happened for Tri-Valley tonight.
And this fella in Wallace not only runs the football, he's a good receiver as well. 28 catches coming in, 416 yards receiving, 15 yards per catch.
You know, I thought
4 touchdowns.
I thought he might wiggle free for the first down. I had no idea he was going to be able to bust that thing that wide.
Wallace gets the handoff, this time delivered in the breadbasket, going around the right side, and he gets inside the 40, strung out for about 4 yards.
About 5 yards on that, maybe.
Near that 37 or 8-yard line.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be 2nd and 6. Tri-Valley's offense starting to look a little more in tune with what's going on, and they need to get in tune.
First time they have gone into Sheridan territory.
I see number 23 is stacked behind 80 out here. 80's in the slot. 23 stacked right behind him. See if they have a little trick play going here.
4 receivers, trips to the left, handoff again, Wallace. They try to spread that field in that defense, and it works, and Wallace does the rest to the 31 for a first down run.
Well, you know, when you look at Wallace, he's not that big a guy. What's his dimensions? 5'10", 180. Well, he's a solid 180, I'll tell you that. He runs hard.
Sounds eerily familiar, 5'10", 180. Not a big guy. Hey, that's me. Anyway, Wallace getting it done on the field right now.
If he needs to take a break, I'll tell Coach West to send you in. Oh, what a cut.
Wallace bottled up this time. Great containment. 3 red hats all over him.
Great job by the defense that time. He cut back, and nobody had over-pursued. They were waiting for him right there in the hole, and that's exactly what their defense needs. Now it's 2nd and 10. Now the defense can kind of dictate what they want to do here.
You got 5 wide, including Wallace now line up as a slot receiver to the right, out of the backfield. As we await the play call from Coach Cam West. You know, West has had a great track record so far to start his early career here at Tri-Valley in his 4th year. Looking for another first down here through the air with Lyle. Lyle, nothing open downfield. Jitterbugs to the right, running out of real estate. Fires near that sideline. Did he stay in bounds with the catch? It depends upon the footwork over there.
Well, thank goodness the press box crowd up here has 20/20 vision, and they saw he was out of bounds, but the referees are going to say, no, boys, I was right there on it. They gave him the catch. 3rd and 1.
And last I checked, it's 20/23 vision. Here we go. Catch made. 3rd down and 1. 4 receivers, 3 to the left side on this alignment.
You know, you told me that Tri-Valley's kicker has 4 field goals on the season. If they come up short here and it's close, I don't think they're going to kick. I think they'll go for it. And they're going to throw it.
Lyle, middle of the field.
It's tipped.
And did he catch it off the tip? I think so. How about that, Doug, at the 15-yard line for the first down?
Hard to believe. I mean, I saw the ball get tipped, and I was waiting for it to be intercepted. Instead, it's a first down.
So the Scotties get a huge 3rd down and short conversion off of a tip pass, no less, to get in the red zone. 2 receivers to the left. Wallace behind Lyle.
Well, you throw it on 3rd and 1, and you complete it because it's a deflected pass, and you get the first down. I think that's called living right.
And you got that tight end lined up over on the right side here. Expect maybe Wallace to get a dose. Tight end goes in motion now, right to left. Wallace.
What a hole.
Look at that speed.
Look
that
out.
hole.
Look out.
And
He's in.
for a touchdown. Jaden Wallace has cut the deficit down to 10-6.
And the Sheridan fans are on their hands now. Man, that's a little scary. That kid ran right through everybody's arms like they were not even there.
15-yard touchdown run for Wallace as he answers the 14-yard score by Munyon at the other end.
Tri-Valley had to come back with points on that series. They couldn't afford to go down 3 scores against a team as good as Sheridan.
And here comes the extra point. It was a big one last year at Jack Anderson Stadium that cost him as it was blocked on one of their 2 PATs. The first one's good tonight, making it 10-7.
10-7. Now we'll see Sheridan with the kickoff return, see what kind of field position they can get. See if they get a big return, have another short field situation, or are they going to have to drive the length of the field? The first time they had the ball, they went down the field like it was nothing to it until they got to the 10-yard line.
Well, the defense was starting to settle in there, Doug, forcing punts each team respectively the late stages of that first quarter, and then here the second quarter starts up, and now you get fireworks, each team's with a touchdown in the frame.
Yep, no doubt about it.
So Wallace 15-yard touchdown run. He's running effective, and that completed a 72-yard scoring drive for the Tri-Valley Skies, their best offensive possession, obviously, of the night, and they capitalized. Cashing in.
Well, you know, we haven't seen everybody in the conference play. We haven't seen John Glenn, haven't seen Kirksville, haven't seen Riverview, Coshocton or Meadowbrook.
Quite a few, yeah.
But
that's
I
a
tell you
handful.
what, the 2 best tailbacks I've seen in this conference so far are on the field tonight.
And this is the first time we're getting to see Tri-Valley together, first and only, unless we follow them into the playoffs at some point. And they're going to line things up at the 40-yard line to kick this one off next week, barring a change. I know Tri-Valley has John Glenn next week in Week 10, possibly, but we are scheduled to do Sheridan at New Lexington for our Game of the Week next week in a Perry County rivalry. Stay tuned for that one. Here we go on the return. Past the 15-20 is where he's going to be greeted as a return man for the Sheridan Generals and no further. Running that one back was Bryson Ruff, the 5'10 senior.
Well, you know, I've heard the Sheridan faithful complaining about some blocks in the back on when Sheridan kicked off, and I think they're justified because I saw a couple of blocks in the back on this one, and the referees aren't really they're not calling it that closely unless it's really flagrant. I don't think they're going to throw the flag on that.
Talked about John Glenn, Tri-Valley coming in Division III Region 11, ranked 8th with their 6-2 record. John Glenn at 7-1, ranked 10th. Both those teams would be in Division III Region 11. Sheridan, which is now bumped down to Division IV Region 15, top team still with this 8-0 mark, as other teams also tried to get themselves in Division IV Region 15, including Philo, who we saw 2 weeks ago against Sheridan. They're in at 13. They'd be on the road right now. They have a tough game with John Glenn tonight. McConnellsville, Morgan, where you were at last week. The Morgan Raiders on the outside looking in with that loss to West End a week ago in our Game of the Week. Here we go with Sheridan's next offensive set. Caden Sheridan with a fake handoff. He's going to run it himself. Past the 30, 35. Nice scamper for about 15 or so from Caden Sheridan.
Well, number 6 for Tri-Valley knows he stuck his nose in there. Cam Carnes, the linebacker, he stuck his nose in on that dive play, and that's all Sheridan needed to get around him. When you're a player, you're already thinking, boy, that's going to look bad on film.
16 yards officially on that run to the 36 where Caden ran it out of bounds.
That's who Cam West identified as the guy they had to stop, was Caden Sheridan.
4 receivers, trips to the left, looking to pass.
What's this? Something's wrong here.
In trouble, and Sheridan's going to get sacked back at the 30. A tag team effect there. Sensabaugh led the charge.
I don't think that was snapped when Caden Sheridan thought it was going to be. I think it was snapped a little too soon because nobody else moved. He just kind of stood there.
That's a big loss on first down.
Yes.
As the defense for Tri-Valley comes up with the sack.
Tanner Newton was in on that.
You know, the momentum has shifted all of a sudden. It can happen quickly in games, can't it?
Yes, it has.
You know,
this is the most challenging down and distance for Sheridan tonight. Second down and 16, 17. Wow.
You go from being up 10-0 earlier in the quarter to having Tri-Valley go the length of the field for a touchdown, and now their defense trying to bail them out here with a sack. And on that second down and long play, pretty good run with that little pitch to Winders.
Triple option play has been a bread and butter play for the Sheridan Generals since forever. They've run it out of every type of offense they've had, where the quarterback's under center or off, behind in the shotgun position or whatever. They run that option play.
And it worked for 6 yards, the 6 that they lost on the sack the play before for Winders. Third down and 10, big play in the game, pivotal moment right here. One would think Tri-Valley's going to keep riding the momentum where Sheridan squash it and get back-to-back first downs.
We're going to have a timeout here. I think that's a good timeout. Get this thing called. It's 3rd and 10. If they get a first down, they have a really good chance to leave this half ahead. If they had to punt on the next play, Tri-Valley has plenty of time to score.
And with that timeout, I'll let you know South 60 Films, obviously your new home for MVL football, streaming games live each and every week. Your replay on television, 7:30 a.m. Saturday mornings on Fox 5 Zanesville. I can be a part of our Friday night, Friday the 13th. Really scary opponents here tonight, but very common opponents. 2 MVL stalwarts in Sheridan and Tri-Valley going out with the Generals up 10-7, 5:39 left to go until half. Philo's at John Glenn tonight. That's the other marquee matchup on the slate as you look down the schedule. Windlass Riverview's at Maysville, New Lex at Crooksville against your old boys, Perry County battle.
Yep.
Morgan at Meadowbrook. West Muskingum continues to rock, as you saw last week, is at Coshocton, who's won a couple games now. Rosecrans at Miller, and Watkins Memorial at Zanesville. Tough years for the Zanesville Blue Devils. And we'll try to get you scores as we get them throughout this night. Here we go back to action after the TO on 3rd and 10. Rolling left, firing downfield. Would have been well short had the catch been made, but it's incomplete.
Nice job by the defense that time. They contained the quarterback. He couldn't get around the corner to run it. The pass was off the mark. And like you said, Hank, had it been caught, it looked like it would have been a tackle on the spot. So the only thing that would have helped would have been the field position to punt the ball. I mean, now they're going to be punting the ball from back around their own 20-yard lines where the punter's standing. We'll see if this guy fields this punt. The last time he did, had a fair catch.
Second punt of the night for Munyon and
line
the
drive.
Generals.
It's going to bounce.
And we'll hit inside the 25 with a trickle effect inside the 20 as it continues to roll for the home team here. The Generals will touch it dead near the 15.
Well, short of a first down, that's about the next best thing the Generals could have had was a punt like that. The return man didn't catch it, let it bounce, and it rolled another 10 or 15 yards. They're going to start, 15-yard line, 16-yard line.
16-yard line officially, 48 yards on the punt with the bounce, basically about 15 yards on the bounce.
So this gives the Sheridan defense an opportunity here. If they get a turnover here or a quick stop, a 3 and out, they may have the ball, somewhere around midfield.
1st and 10 Dogs as they come out right before the half, trying to get the lead or maybe tie it with a field goal. And they'll run forward with who else? Jaden Wallace to the 20.
That's a safe call. Give the ball to your best back, run behind your best lineman, and pick up 3 or 4 yards. Get a little farther away from your own goal line. Second down and about 7 maybe. maybe 6.
Wallace been very efficient with 4 yards on that one. Sensabaugh will be lined up to the left with just 2 receivers over there for Tri-Valley. Also over there is Cade Heindel. Such weaponry the Scotties have, and the offense has been clicking 5 straight weeks. But meeting the Sheridan defense right there is Jaden Wallace, a team that's pitched 4 straight shutouts in a row. He felt the pop there, but he still got about 4 to the 24.
Wow. I mean, that Sheridan defender stepped up into the hole right where he needed to be and made a Foreman perfect tackle, and the ball carrier just didn't go down.
And now we're inside of 4.5 minutes to play until intermission. And you have 4 receivers for Tri-Valley, 3 to the right. Wallace the lone back behind Lyle, again looking for that call as they use some of the clock here.
Well, they're getting a little confusion on their personnel. I'm surprised they don't call timeout.
They have 5 seconds to snap it. They do it in time. Does Lyle. Looks right, now goes forward, squirting near the 25. He had to get to the 26. He's going to be short of that first down by a couple yards.
Well, that just didn't look very good on Tri-Valley's part. They had the wrong personnel package in the game. They finally got that straightened up, and then it just took them forever to get their play called, and Lyle just didn't look comfortable with what was going on down the field. The only good thing is he didn't throw the thing away for an interception, turnover situation. But they have to punt the ball away. Sheridan's going to have it with 3.5 minutes to go.
So now the defense has come back after the offensive gets touchdowns earlier in this quarter. Sheridan punted. Now Tri-Valley will do the same with 3.5 to go.
What in the world is that?
That's a wounded duck for sure. And it will bounce to the 36, scooped up by Winders for a 3-yard return at the 39. Good special teams coverage by the Scotties for the tackle. But Sheridan's going to have good field position after what looked like a poor punt, and it was.
Well, it was a poor punt. It looked like a Pete Rose line drive single to right field.
Yeah. And it turned out, despite it all, the yardage was good because they kicked it from the 24, and, it went for about 40 yards.
Right.
Nevertheless.
Well, we haven't seen anything from the Sheridan offense like we did the last time when Caden Sheridan was throwing that ball down the field. We'll see if they come back with that.
4 receivers now for the Generals on offense, 2 each side. Lone back Munyon,
another
confusion.
mixed up.
Oh, and Caden Sheridan's going to eat this one. That'll go in the books as a sack. But definitely was looking, I think, to hand that one off or something to Munyon.
Well, that was another missed assignment in the backfield, miscommunication, whatever you want to call it. That was a broken play all the way. And a lot of times on a broken play against a team that's not as good as Tri-Valley, you'll make something positive out of it. Not against these guys. The Scotties were right on it.
Well, these types of plays could cost you in a game of this magnitude. Loss of 3, 2nd and 13 at about the 36. Sheridan hands it off Munyon. Munyon greened it, and he's driven backwards on this one. He still wouldn't go down, but his forward progress easily stopped at the line of scrimmage.
Chris Gargas. Wow. Nice play.
Gargas, you mentioned his name. He had 1.5 sacks in the matchup last year before leaving the game before halftime and did not return. He's obviously happy to be back out here playing in this game.
Well, we have a timeout here on the field with 2:14 to go in the first half. Timeout, Scotties.
2:14 left to go. As you mentioned, Doug, 10-7. We got Sheridan on tap next week at New Lexington at Jim Rockwell Stadium. So we'll continue to follow Generals. Will the Generals be undefeated? A lot to be determined, obviously, here tonight. Somebody's going to keep a streak alive as both teams were streaking coming in. Sheridan 8-0, 8 straight, 5-0 for Tri-Valley. Something had to give. Sheridan's got 4 straight shutouts, including that 48-0 win last week on Maysville. 2 weeks ago, we saw them beat Philo handily, 33-0. That's a decent Philo team. Tri-Valley saw Philo last week, gave up 35 to the Electrics.
I saw that. I
had to win a shootout.
Yeah.
52-35.
You can – one of the worst traps you can fall into is comparative scores.
Yeah.
But that did stun me. They gave up 35 points.
Well, Talon Preston ran wild for Philo for 191 yards in that game last week. And not only could they not stop them, only when they had to outscore them. As we get back to live action here with a Munyon screen set up, going nowhere. The catch for a loss of maybe a yard. Will be 4th down. The Skies get it back. But Philo had 3 plays of over 60 yards in that game. The defense has come to play tonight. You haven't seen that here in this first half.
Well, that was a middle screen. I mean, that was a great call, but Drake Durst was having none of it. He's a 2-year letterman, and he was waiting for that middle screen, and he made a tackle on the spot. And right now, Sheridan's offense looks befuddled. They don't look like the well-oiled machine we've seen even in the first quarter. We've had at least 2 plays with missed assignments and caused Sheridan to take a big loss. Then we've had other plays. Munyon tackled at the line of scrimmage.
Yep.
The first quarter, you handed him the ball, it was money, and all of a sudden, they can't. It's fourth and 14.
You start to make your adjustments as the game continues to get more fluid, and it's happening right now for Tri-Valley's defense. 4th and 13 in a punting situation. This will be the 3rd of the night already for Munyon.
I think you got to tell your return man to catch the ball, even if it's a fair catch the ball. We don't want to start at the 15 again.
Plenty of time to kick this one.
That's straight up. Here's fair catch.
Oh, and able to make sure to catch that one on a dive at the 38 was the returner in number 30 in Carter Dinan, who handles those chores a lot for the Scotties.
Nice job by Carter Dinan. And that ball bounced, probably would have gone the other, down the field. That's pretty good field position. They have 158. They have a big passing attack here on this team. So, boy, I don't think Cam West is going to play a fullback dive for a minute 58.
No, don't expect that whatsoever. You just mentioned before that punt, Drake Durst on the stop for Tri-Valley. He led all rushers in the game last year with 75 yards on 15 carries. Just something to note out there. And Durst has not carried the football yet tonight for Tri-Valley, as Wallace is the man of the year.
I think Coach West tried to catch Sheridan's defense flat-footed with that dive at the middle on the first down. Generals had none of that.
So gain of 2 to the 40-yard line. Hurry up offense. Minute 35 to go. Looking to pass Lyle. He hasn't had much success downfield. He's flushed and throws this one away.
That was a good decision that time. Wallace was out there in the flat. That's like his safety valve guy. But he was covered. And quarterback saw that. Lyle saw that he was covered. Had he thrown the ball, the guy, it would have either been picked or he'd been hit immediately. So he just threw it up in the cheap seats. All right, 3rd down and 8. It looks like the Generals, they can hold on this. They're going to dodge a bullet here at the end of the first half.
And they will get the ball back if they're able to do so with just moments remaining in the half. You'll have 5 receivers. Wallace out of the backfield in the slot left.
It's a lot of football being played here in the last 3 minutes.
Lyle with the snap. 4 linemen for Sheridan coming, and he had time and protection and delivers on the money for a first down completion at the Sheridan side of the field inside the 40.
3-man pass rush, 8 guys in the secondary. Hank, I know that's sound football, but I'm telling you, I don't care if you drop 10 guys in the secondary. Somebody can find a way to get open, find an open spot, and boy, that time the ball was right on the money. Great play.
It was Eric Neal, the tight end, on his first catch. And going back to the air, it's Sensabaugh. And Sensabaugh stayed
He's still
in
going.
And he's inside the 10, 5, taking Generals
I
in
think he
with it.
scored.
Touchdown.
He did.
Ashton Sensabaugh for Tri-Valley, and they have the lead with 59 seconds left to go until halftime.
I was waiting for him to run out of bounds to save the clock, and he just refused to step out of bounds. He broke a couple of tackles, and he carried a defender into the end zone with him.
38 yards on the connection, Lyle to Sensabaugh, 2 of the top skill players in the league at their respective positions. Extra point on the way here off the snap and the hold for point 14. That was a problem last year, not this time. They get that 14th point. It's 14-10 Scotties with 14 unanswered points in the quarter.
Well, the Scotties have absolutely stormed back into this game. Everything went wrong for them to start with. Sheridan went down the field in their first drive, had a field goal, had an interception deep in Tri-Valley's territory. He took it in for the score. It was just red rage all over the place. And all of a sudden, like you said, you just felt the momentum just kind of shifting. The Sheridan offense, broken plays, and all of a sudden, with 59 seconds to go in the half, the Tri-Valley Scotties are ahead.
And they go down and get the touchdown after forcing another Sheridan punt. Momentum completely has shifted in this game as they take their first lead of the night here on the road. Mentioned the fact a couple different times in the pregame and early on when this one started that Tri-Valley has won 8 straight games here in Thornville for whatever reason. Here at Paul Culver Stadium, they enjoy success, not since 2005 when Sheridan shut them out 22-0, had the Generals beat the Scotties here.
And they get the ball first in the second half.
And the Dogs defense will have to come back out here to try to keep this lead in the final 59 ticks.
Deep kick.
Sheridan wants to come back and get that lead back. Here comes a return. Coming across the field is Munyon, and that's not a good recipe right there on the return for Justin as he'll go down at about the 11-yard line.
That's a 7-yard return. He got the ball at about the 4-yard line. And he must have had a wall set up on the left because he ran clear across the field. And, you know, that's sometimes that works, but most times you just run sideways for a long ways.
And that's exactly what happened there. And the Generals are pinned back. 52 seconds left to go in your first half clock. They have 2 timeouts for what it's worth if they elect to use them. Tri-Valley has just 1. Receivers, 4 of them. Check that, 5 receivers now. No backs in the backfield as Sheridan will work the shotgun. They're going to try to go down the field and air things out, or will they? Caden looked like he was going to run and now fires downfield and misses target. He had Munyon streaking at about the 25.
Pressure on the quarterback. Broke that play up. That's exactly what the Generals did not do to Lyle in that last drive. They didn't put any pressure on him. Let him stand back there and throw the ball. They rushed 3 guys. He blocked five guys. You only have 3 to stop.
You do the math, right?
You do the math. You know, I didn't major in that stuff, but boy, I can do that one.
And it's 2nd down and 10 for this offense for Sheridan with just 46 seconds
you
left.
know, Hank, the teacher lost me when she said pie or square. I mean, you know, I just thought, man, she knows nothing what she's talking about. My grandma makes ties, and they're round.
Let's see if Sheridan can dial up 6. Speaking of numbers.
Oh, over the middle.
Deep pass. He'll throw an interception instead. And that's the first thrown by Caden Sheridan tonight as Tri-Valley picks it off on Sheridan's side of the field about the 48-yard line. So each starting quarterback, Doug, has now thrown a first half interception. Each starting quarterback had only 1 interception thrown for the whole year.
Well, I'll tell you, here's the scenario I see. They have 43 seconds to go. If they can just go down and get in field goal range, and they're going to get the ball to start the second half, I mean, they may go up not 2 scores. If things go their way, they may go up 3 scores before Sheridan touches the ball again.
Getting to be dangerous, to say the least, for the Sheridan defense now as they are down 4. Tri-Valley scored 14 straight, looking to pass, looking for more, but Lyle could be sacked back here, somehow evades it and fires for a short completion on the sidelines.
Clock will run. He was in bounds. Timeout.
That's why it stopped immediately with 33 seconds left at the 45 due to the TOs you mentioned.
That tells me Coach West is definitely he's thinking score here. He's thinking we can put the dagger in the Generals right now. We go up another touchdown here and get the ball first to start the second half. We can put this game out of reach. And, I mean, that's – I'd be so excited with a 4-point lead over Sheridan. I'd have my quarterback sitting on his butt taking a snap.
You know, Sheridan had not given up a point the last 4 weeks, 4 straight shutouts. You know, you look back on their schedule to this point, and the Generals last gave up a point was at home here on September the 8th. The Morgan Raiders, that was well over a month ago. And
Wow.
giving up 14. Different opponent tonight, of course, in Tri-Valley. Somebody will come away and keep their streak alive and hopefully win a Big School Division title.
Well, the secondary's backed off now. They're 12 to 15 yards deep. 3-man. Oh,
And quick hitter there, Doug, middle of the field. That's Sensabaugh spinning near a first down.
I never even saw the ball released.
That was a quick flip as Sensabaugh came across. And they're going to move the chains just enough for a first down. Clock winding, and there's a spike by Lyle with 22. Ticks left to go in the half. And the Scotties in business. You know, they still have plenty of work to do if they want to get a touchdown. Field goal not out of the realm of possibility. Sheridan would like to think otherwise and get the stops.
Did he throw that ball with his foot?
5 receivers.
They have no timeouts. Nope, no timeouts for the Scotties.
See if that comes back to bite him here for additional points late off of a Sheridan turnover. Wallace slot right out of the backfield. No backs as Lyle will look to pass. And he's hopping around back here, finds his man in the middle of the field, and it should have been caught, and it nearly carried him for an interception to a General.
Yeah, the ball's a little bit behind number 80, Eric Neal. But, yeah, I had to go with you on that one. That should have been a catch. That would have been a catch and a run to the line of scrimmage and spike it, because he was right in the middle of the field and he was already on the ground when he was trying to make the catch.
Neal has made 1 catch earlier this quarter. He's 6'4", 205 pounds. Perfect tight end frame for sure.
Well, this sideline on this in front of us looks wide open to me.
Final seconds inside of 15. Here come the Generals chasing Lyle. Intercepted. Lyle's just thrown a second pick of the half. Still on his feet. That's Fox, who has done it again. Sneaky as a sly as a fox.
Oh, buddy, what a play by Fox.
2 of them in the half for Fox as he gets Lyle and prevents Tri-Valley from adding points.
If Sheridan's on top at the end of this game, they can look back at the end of this first half and say, thank you, Mr. Fox. What a play.
And his short run back to the 36-yard line. Sheridan has 2 timeouts left. Tri-Valley out of them. Time's a big factor. Sheridan will call 1 of their 2 remaining right here. But the biggest thing, Doug, they stopped Tri-Valley's momentum, at least for a play, with that interception.
Oh, no doubt about it. No doubt about it.
And that was big. That was huge, to say the least. You know, could have went down another score before the half, possibly. So
without a doubt. When Sensenball made that run down the sideline, I can't believe he scored on that. And Wallace ran that one up the middle. He looked like Superman without the cape.
Yes, he did.
You know, I mean, there's 2 unbelievable plays, and those 2 guys they still have their helmets on over there. They're easily capable of making that play again. So the Generals defense really stands up to the challenge. Great job by the Generals that time.
Last year, Lyle threw for 200 yards and 1 touchdown, no interceptions in that loss. And Sensabaugh was held to 3 for 36, but Sensabaugh has put a stamp on it here late in this quarter.
Oh, man.
Now
Okay.
Sheridan.
All right.
Back out here on offense.
Turn to the page where you have 9 seconds to go and call the play.
Munyon slides out of the backfield in the left slot to go downfield and looking to chuck this one deep. Last play of the half, probably it's going to be caught underneath, and Winders catches it and saves some time by getting out of bounds near midfield.
2.6 seconds on the clock.
So
I got to believe this is going to be down the field.
they'll mark it at the 49.
We're going to have a timeout here.
Hey, you can't take it to the locker room,
That's
right?
right.
So they're going to try to script up a final Hail Mary play or something of that nature. The old hook and ladder, maybe?
Well, now that you mention that,
Not to get you off there.
my your pinch hitter last week, Kevin Rao,
Yes.
was at the end of the half.
Great
much
job.
Like this,
Thank you, Kevin.
And he said, "This looks like hook and ladder time to me, Doug." And I thought, hook and ladder? I don't know. That's exactly the play that was ran. And so, Kevin,
Fool you once, what happens here twice?
my hat's off to you, buddy. You made the call on that one. You were right there.
Oh. We'll see if Sheridan dials that up as they continue to huddle up with 2.6. Like you said, final play of the half looms here. Last time out called by the Generals, down 4 in a very entertaining first half, as one would expect between these 2.
I think when Kevin made that call, that made his record on calls like that 1 and 267. So he's working his way up.
Oh, those odds. Here we go. What are the odds here for Sheridan? Get a touchdown in the final 2.6.
Well, I tell you what, the safeties for Tri-Valley are in a different time zone just about, and we have a flag now. I think that's the first flag of the night.
They definitely have swallowed the whistles. Clean played game, however you want to look at it.
Well, you expect that. You know, you look at these 2 teams' records and the coaching staffs that they have. I mean, these guys don't settle for average. Mediocre is not part of the game plan for either team.
And it's a 5-yard penalty. You're right, first penalty of the game. Kind of shocking, to say the least, with all the intensity and emotion riding on this one.
Well, nobody's being challenged at the line of scrimmage as far as the receiver's concerned.
Sheridan's going to launch this one. The heave downfield. Plenty of Scotties there, and not able to track it down was Ruff as he lost sight of it at about the 5.
I think if Ruff had stayed focused on that ball, he may have caught that and gone in the end zone because he was behind the deepest man. How do you get behind the deepest man and prevent defense?
That question will be talked about and pondered quickly at halftime, I'm sure, by Cam West, coach of the Scotties. We are at the half here. He's got to be happy, though, right now, as Coach West. His team on the road with 14 unanswered points in the second quarter will take a halftime lead of 14-10 over the Sheridan Generals. And we're going to step aside for the halftime festivities. CA Music House, play music for life. Join us next for the CA Music House halftime show, the bands of these two between the Generals and the Skies. And then we'll be back for your second half after that.
No one cares how much you know until they know how much you care.
Be responsible. Discipline yourself so no one else has to.
Back here on the MVL Game of the Week presented by Community Bank. Hank Alf and Doug Clifford back in the saddle with you. Start of the second half about to get underway here in Thornville at Paul Culver Jr. Stadium of a 14-10 Tri-Valley lead. And the Scotties get the ball first to start the second half. And they'll scoop it up at the 25, spin out past the 30, and nearly hog-tied and down at about the 32-yard line is the return man for Tri-Valley.
Nathan Better. He did not want to go down. Nice return.
5'11", 155-pound senior starts it off for Tri-Valley on special teams with that run back. As we look back at the first half before we get into some scores, and Doug, you know, you had Sheridan coming out like gangbusters. They scored the game's first 10 points. Field goal in the first quarter from 31 yards out from Dominic McKinney. A touchdown from Justin Munyon, 14 yards out on the ground. That was off of an interception. It looked like Sheridan was on their way, but then Tri-Valley gets 2 touchdowns there in the second quarter to take the lead at 14-10 as your first play is a bottled-up run here for Wallace. Speaking of Wallace, he had a 15-yard touchdown run that got the Scotties on the board at the midway point of the second, making it 10-7, and then Lyle connected the quarterback for Tri-Valley with Ashton Sensabaugh for a touchdown pass of 38 yards that really was on the legs of Sensabaugh.
Well, it was a tale of 2 quarters. Sheridan dominated the game early, but their touchdown drive was, 26 yards? Came off the turnover. So they really haven't moved the ball the length of the field yet since that first drive. Oh, we had a penalty on that one.
And you had 4 flags. Everyone threw a flag that time.
I saw the center almost snapped it and then changed his mind and then snapped it. And, yeah, that's not good.
Everyone caught that one, did the stripes down there on the field. So that's the infraction, moves you back 5. Making a second and long for Tri-Valley here, called second and 15 at their own 27. Lyle, quick pass, middle field, off the tips of Sensabaugh, and it goes high in the air and hits the turf before General could get it.
Oh, and Lyle throws the ball with great velocity, and if his guys either catch it or it bounces off of him and goes up in the air, and that time that was up for grabs.
So it will be 3rd down and 15 for this Tri-Valley offense to start the second half. Opening minute, 11:01 left to go, third quarter.
Very important defensive series for the Generals. They've come out ready to play.
5 receivers, 3 to the right. Lyle now looking to tuck and run, and down he goes. He picks up a yard to avoid a sack, but it's going to be 4th down as he couldn't avoid a pair of Generals.
Cole Davis came up with the sack that time, but Sheridan's not rushing 3 guys anymore. They're rushing 4.
So you get 3 plays and out to start this third quarter, just with the doctor order for Coach Culver the third and his Generals.
Field this punt, and you'll have great field position.
Coach Paul Culver Jr. in his 8th year at the helm at Sheridan, 3-4 against Tri-Valley, and they nearly blocked the punt, as this one's going to be fair caught by Winders at the 31-yard line with no return. 10:39 left to go in the third quarter. Tri-Valley's offense. Coach again, Cam West, 4th year. Not going to like what happened right there out of the gates to start the half.
No, that was not the game plan. I mean, when you defer to the second half, and you're hoping to get the ball first. They had the perfect scenario. They scored to take the lead, and they're going to have the ball first. They could have made it a 2-score game. They didn't even get a first down. Great job by the Sheridan Generals on defense. Boy, at halftime I had a chance to talk with Trey Ulmer, who I got to call when he played, and he made a dramatic play at Tri-Valley to win the game, won his senior year.
As you get a first down run here for a few by Justin Munyon. More in your story there before the scores?
Well, we were reminiscing about Coach Culver, the original Coach Culver, Paul Culver Jr., and he was saying, he was really tough on us. He said, and now I realize that after I've been done playing and out of school, he said he was more concerned with us being successful in life than he was on the field, but he was pretty concerned with us being successful out there too.
Yeah, let's not forget about that. And here we go with a 2nd down and 7 after a 3-yard game of money on first down. You got Winders over there making a nice move. Sideline route, and he just ran out of room, or that could have went for more as he gets into the Tri-Valley territory.
Well, if he had a little bit more green carpet in front of him, he may have been gone.
So big gain for Sheridan on their second offensive play of the third quarter, and it's a first down pass. Here's scores around the area. You had Morgan all over Meadowbrook 42-0. Maysville also Hammering Riverview 35-0. New Lex over your former Crooksville team 22-0. So a lot of shutouts when you say also Zanesville down 20-0 at the half to Watkins Memorial. Miller 7, Rosecrans 0. Another blanking here.
Wow.
John Glenn 13-0 on Philo. And West End 29-19. Having a little bit of a fit
Wow.
for Shockton. And there's Munyon breaking out the hurdles again and jumping over it for a near first down run. But, you do see flags coming out
I
here.
think they're going to call that against Munyon.
We have seen this play out before.
Well, what I saw, it really just astonished me. Well, that was a false key play all the way. The right guard and right tackle pulled to the right, or the left guard and left tackle pulled to the right, like the play was going to go to the right, and then you get the ball going to the left with no blockers in front of him, and just absolutely fooled the linebackers completely.
And it's a shame, honestly, when you see runs like that, hurtling over defenders. I know it's to prevent injuries, of course. And you get penalized for a run like that was a first down at the other end, and you go backwards the other way. But it is what it is here at the high school level. You have things like running clocks, too, that play a factor when you get over a 30-point cushion.
1st and 18.
That'll push Sheridan back to their own 41-yard line, so a lot of work to do now on first down. Got to pick up a first down over at the Tri-Valley side of the field, and able to get it was Caden Sheridan. As the excitement nearly got you doing a Sheridan turnover, and Sheridan is dropped for a loss.
Well, as the heads-up player that time, he just about got away with that. And I can see the guy that made number 3 made the tackle for Tri-Valley, Cade Heindel. Whoa, it's a good thing he did, because Sheridan was going to take he was going to make something out of nothing on that play.
Instead, he loses 3.
That ball just dribbled back on the carpet to him. It never did get airborne on the snap.
Now you got 2nd and 21 after that loss. A passing situation type down right here on 2nd and 21 with Sheridan looking to do just that. They'll pass over to Winders. Winders with the catch at 45, cuts inside, wants to go back out, and now he is met by about half the Tri-Valley defense and thrown down.
Right in front of you!
And you're allowed to hit him hard, folks. You're allowed to throw him on the ground just as hard as you want.
Progress stopped at the 44, and
that's about all
That's
about all we've seen from the passing attack, except for at the end of the half, down the field, the Hail Mary deal was just these quick passes to the line, and it's not what we saw Sheridan doing. I believe it was against Philo. He was a down the field passer.
Yeah,
and
just a few weeks back,
and just putting the ball right on the money. Trey Armour also told me that Caden is a possible Division I baseball prospect as catcher.
Very good baseball player. I saw his average well over 500, near 600. Here we go, complete downfield.
That's a first down.
As Winders is doing it again. One of the best receivers in the league in the area gets a first down catch.
Great protection that time by the Sheridan Generals offensive line. Caden Sheridan, he could have drank a Pepsi before he threw the ball. Great job by the line. Ball right on the money, and Winders is big time good.
And he'll have to step out for a wind, as he is winded as Winders. And, now it's a 1st and 10 at the Tri-Valley 32-yard line as that pass play goes for 24 yards.
Well, it's 2nd and 21, and you're a defensive squad, and you're thinking, we got these guys right where we want them, and all of a sudden now it's 1st and 10 in your territory.
3 receivers, 2 to the right. It's a fake to Munyon. Look at the option keep by Caden Sheridan. 25, 20, 15, and trickles out of bounds. Shy of the 10 at about the 12.
Great block on the outside that time by Householder. I know his daddy, so I had to say. But it was a great block. Nice job that time by Jacob Householder on the perimeter to block that and pop Caden Sheridan loose for a big gain. 1st and 10.
Nothing wrong with emphatically doing what you did, Doug. And an emphatic run by Sheridan goes for 19.
No doubt about it.
Sets up his squad inside the red zone at the Tri-Valley 13-yard line. So back and forth game that we've had in the first half. Here we go in this third quarter near the midway point. 7.5 to go in the third. Sheridan trying to get the lead back, and it's Munyon getting the flip. Trying to go left in. There's a stiff arm to the right hand. Yet another get out of my way. And he's going to have a first down and goal for his Generals.
I think I see a flag down.
And that would be the only thing that would prevent a first down and goal. If it's on Sheridan, sitting right about the 7-yard line as you see. So they'll check it. would negate a nice first down run for Munyon, who was trying to sniff that end zone for a second time tonight. And it is on the General offense. And that penalty will move it back to the 17, spot foul penalty of 10 yards.
That was a great call that time by Coach Culver. Great execution on the part of the Sheridan offense. When you come around that corner, and there wasn't anybody there.
And it's basically like a do-over down almost. Turns out to be a 3-yard loss and a replay of the down. 1st and 13 for Sheridan. At the 17-yard line, out of the snap, getting it again, Munyon. Munyon might have slipped and lost his footing there for a moment as he tried to turn back inside, and he goes down, not much. He'd be a 1-yard pickup on that carry. They will place it there at the 16. 2nd and long. Generals down 4 as the Scotties cling to this third quarter lead.
Well, Tri-Valley has to take advantage of that break they had on the penalty. Because I'm telling you, they're about the 1-yard line when Munyon finally went down. And I don't think he would have been denied on the next play.
Last year's game, 7-all at the half. Tri-Valley took a 13-7 lead late in the third. Couldn't hold it. Sheridan won it late in the fourth with the extra point by 14-13 score. Here goes Munyon left side as he got lead blockers there with the tight end going in motion to help pave the way to get inside the 10. To the 8-yard line, they'll place it.
Okay, 3rd down. They can get a first down here at what, the 3?
3-yard line, that is correct. And they need 5 as Munyon ripped off 8 with that carry. 4 down territory, down 4. You need a touchdown.
I think it's definitely 4 down territory.
Caden Sheridan out of the gun as usual to his left, Munyon in the backfield. 3 receivers. Winders way over to the right. Hand off Munyon. Munyon, nearly had a crease for the touchdown, but he did pick up the first down on 3rd down and 5. 1st and goal.
Well, I'm not exactly sure what Sheridan is doing to get that look, but that's about the 2nd, 3rd, or 4th time Munyon has run a play like that, and he gets to the perimeter, and there's nobody there.
The Generals started with possession of this football on their own side of the field, and they've basically gone the length of it from their own 31. They're trying to get the score to get the lead back.
That's the first time they've driven the length of the field here. They can push this thing across for a touchdown. Well, we got a tree hitter in the backfield, number 64. That's going to be I don't think he's going to get the ball. Oh, baby, right behind him.
Munyon instead, touchdown. 2nd of the night for Justin Munyon as Caden Sheridan flies up the fist with excitement for his team. They take the lead back, 16-14, 4:32 left to go in the third quarter.
Well, back in the old days, they would have called 64 a fullback. That position doesn't exist anymore. Sean Griffey, 6'3", 200-pound junior offensive defensive lineman, led the way that time. Munyon ran right behind him.
And they went with the power backfield with the 3 backs, 1 lineman really. And the extra point up and good. And the Generals have taken the lead back as we're in a back-and-forth affair between these two teams at 17-14. Generals, again, Sheridan's won 20 MVL championships. Tri-Valley's won 12. Top 2 in the league to do it that many times. And Sheridan trying to prevail here and stay undefeated. They get the lead back. That's a big answer this third quarter.
Oh, yes, it was. I mean, that's what we talked about. If Tri-Valley could score first in the third quarter, and they came out, it was 3 and out, and instead Sheridan scores on their first possession of the third quarter, and they regain the lead. It's championship football at its finest.
There's no doubt it is. As Justin Munyon punches it in, he's got both Sheridan touchdowns on the night. You know, we were together a couple weeks ago to see Sheridan at Philo down at Sam Hatfield, and he put in 3 rushing scores, so Munyon continues to impress on the ground for Sheridan, capping off scores for his team. But this has been so far a defensive and offensive team effort in this third quarter. Like you said, they shut Tri-Valley down on their first possession, came down and scored on theirs.
How about those key receptions by Winders?
Tremendously huge. Here's the kickoff, going to be fielded on the hop at the 10. Cutting across the middle of the field, now trying to go back. And getting out to about the 22-yard line is a returner. And that was Nathan Better.
That's the best coverage of the night for the Sheridan Generals.
So it will be interesting to see how the Scotties respond. They have responded already before. They were down 10-0 in the second quarter, so ripped off 14 straight going into the half. Next week, Tri-Valley gets John Glenn. If you're looking forward, one more week in the final week of the regular season in Week 10. Sheridan gets rival New Lex. It's our game of the week scheduled for you next week. Expect nothing but a lot of blood and tears in that one. Here we go with a pitch to Wallace, and Wallace has a good run out to the 30-yard line for about 8.
That might be that's definitely their best rushing effort of the second half. The first time they had the ball, I don't think they gained more than a yard or 2 yards on any carry.
And you're right. So far, best play for the Scotties here in the quarter and a half. 2nd down and 2 after the 8-yard jaunt by Wallace to the right.
Well, we've seen Cam West. He's not afraid to throw the ball into situations like this. I mean, it was the 3rd and 1, and on that deflected pass when they got a first down on that one drive.
Back to Wallace it goes. They won't pass. Instead, they'll go back to the ground. And Wallace gets nowhere. Just back to the original line of scrimmage on this play.
Great job that time by the defense.
Now it's 3rd down and 2 for Tri-Valley. They did not convert a 3rd down in their last possession, had to punt it. 3.5 minutes left to go, 3rd quarter, getting deep into this one.
See if the Generals can come up with another defensive gem here.
This game has lived up to its billing.
Oh, no doubt about that, Hank. We've had this marked on the calendar for a long time.
Crowd getting into it, and the pitch, and Wallace will not get it.
He's not going to make it.
Stopped again at the 30 for a 2nd straight play.
That was a play they gained 8 yards on first down. Not this time. They gained a foot. 4th down. What are they going to do? They're lining up to go for it.
So how about that,
Holy
Doug?
cow.
They're lining up to go for it. And how about that, Doug? They go Wallace, Wallace, Wallace. 3 straight runs. And they're lining up to go for it on 4th down. Is this more of a jump you off?
Yeah, this might be the jump them off sides play.
10 to snap it if you're Tri-Valley and ticking. Now up just 3, and that's it. They're going to burn a timeout.
Wow. Man, that's a double victory for Sheridan.
So 4th and 2 at your own 30-yard line. 2.5 minutes left to go, 3rd quarter. First timeout called by either team of the half is burnt by the Scotties here. And like you said, that's a double whammy because now that timeout might be something Tri-Valley needs later, and they use one now.
There's no doubt they're going to need it later.
And you're down 3 with a 4th down decision. You're punting it away, or you're going to go for it. And if you fail, you set up Sheridan with, again, a short field. You know what happened earlier in this game? Short field led to a touchdown off of an interception in the first half in the second quarter.
You know, I think if you had watched film and had seen Sheridan's defensive line jump off sides throughout the season, well, that's a pretty good call. But I really don't remember seeing those guys jump off sides much. And that's a risk. And like you said, they burned a timeout. That's what hurt them at the end of the first half. If they had another timeout or 2 in their pockets, they may have scored there on that last drive.
Definitely good composure by the Sheridan defense not to get fooled and jump off.
Well, they nearly blocked it the last time and weren't even trying. See what happens now.
So out to punt. Oh, it's a fake. Oh, Cam West in the bag of tricks gets that first down on a fake.
Trickery and deception in a kicking game works every time.
Special teams, you always think, will come into play between these two in a big game and a tight game. It did last year, and it's looking like it's going to again.
Well, if Cam had lived in a previous lifetime back in the day, he may have been the riverboat gambler. Wow, that's 2 big gambles in a row. And that first on the try to get him to jump off sides and burn a timeout, and then go for the fake punt and make it.
So the up back took it, got it out to the 38-yard line. And here on first down, they go back. Traditional ground play here with the run for 3.
I think that snap was directed to Wallace because I see Lyle coming off the sideline.
You're right, and Wallace is going to stand there. Now Lyle gets back into position as they work out of that pistol gun look.
Kind of like the Rashid Cisse approach.
Sprinkle a little Wallace in like that. I mentioned Cisse. Whew, you saw him last week get a record 6 touchdowns, school record, in that win at Morgan, 42-13. He's only got 30 on the year. Kudos, Rashid. Probably see in 2 weeks in the playoffs. Here we go. Back to pass. Caught. And it's going to be just short of the first down, but Tri-Valley starting to matriculate down the field at the 46.
Holy Hank Stram. Nice tackle on the far sideline by number 21, Bryson Ruff.
Scotties are moving the football here. Late 3rd down 3. Feels so good, doesn't it, Doug, to be in a tight one? We haven't had many of these this year.
It's been a while. Been 3 or 4 weeks since we've had a game like this.
Ooh. Scotties on the move, but a 3rd down being short after that catch. They need 2.
You just get the feeling, Hank, there's going to be a big play by one team or the other that decides this thing.
Back to Wallace. He had plenty of hole to work with. And he's got a first down to the 45 of Sheridan. Needed 2. He got that and then some.
What a game. What a game. These guys are, very few penalties, very few mistakes, very disciplined teams. Here they come.
And they're just throwing haymakers at each other. 9 yards for Wallace on that 3rd and 2 after he couldn't get a 3rd and 2 last time. This time it pitched to him to the left, nets about 2.
That was an awkward little pitch-looking thing, wasn't it? And I thought he was going to get a lot more yards than that. Sheridan's defense, I was telling Trey Golmer at halftime, the thing that really used to irritate me about Sheridan's linebackers was you could knock them on their back and they get up and they make the tackle for a gain of 2. They just didn't stay blocked. No manners whatsoever.
And here we go with Tri-Valley running the final seconds of this 3rd quarter clock now, Doug. Under 20 seconds. They got to snap it.
Well, these guys don't huddle. They haven't huddled one time tonight, so I don't think we're ever going to see them do that.
5 to snap it, 15 in the quarter. They get it off. They hand it off to Wallace, and Wallace again finds some daylight over the 40 to the 38, and that's how your 3rd quarter is going to come to a close on that run by Wallace. It will be 3rd down at about 3 for Tri-Valley's offense at the Sheridan 38-yard line, setting up some dramatics for the 4th and final quarter.
Oh, here it comes.
Stay tuned, buckle up, get your popcorn ready. 12 more minutes left to go of this one. Who's going to keep on winning? Will it be Tri-Valley or Sheridan? Fourth quarter getting underway. The Scotties have the football, and they're pressing for more.
Screen pass.
And the screen is connected on 3rd down and 3 as you see Tri-Valley get about 5 to the 33-yard line. So Cam West dials up the screen on 3rd and short. Hank Alvin with Doug Cliver. Glad to be a part of it tonight. Here we go. Dramatics for this one.
The defensive coaches are going to be disappointed that Tri-Valley got a 1st down on that play. But that's the kind of play that goes for touchdowns.
And it was Tanner Newton. First time we called his name tonight. 5'9", 170-pound senior who slid out there and got that little screen.
Well, that was, that's a sucker play. Try to get the defense, overly anxious to sack your quarterback. And the big rush was on, and Newton snagged that ball out of the air, delivered just in the nick of time, and he was about a footstep from being down the field. We have an injured player down.
So an injured player, you're right, is the Sheridan General at about the 27-yard line. We'll get that number for you here momentarily. It gives us a chance to run through some sponsors, much needed. Thanks Harley Davidson, live to ride, ride to live. Thanks Quality Cars and RVs, quick as a wink, deal with Think. And thanks Easy Leasing and Rental. Foxfire Schools, free public alternative education serving students grades K through 12. Kona's Furniture and Mattress First, always making it easier for you to furnish your home. As we come back out on the field, the injured player is off the field for Sheridan.
Ryan Kuhn, number 12, was the injured player. 1st and 10
That's the Scotties.
for the Scotties.
Oh, and they are threatening here at the 33 of Sheridan. Opening seconds of this fourth quarter. 3-point Sheridan lead. The lone points in this half was a Justin Munyon 1-yard touchdown run at the 4:32 mark of the third.
I don't think we had to warn there,
We have movement on Tri-Valley, and we definitely got emphasis on that penalty flag, didn't we?
I don't think we had to, even ponder for more than 2 seconds if what Cam West is going to do here as far as play calling. I mean, I don't think he's going to play for next week. He's not going to hold any tricks back. If it's in 4-down territory, I think we're going to see him go for it. I mean, they're down 4, field goal. Oh, no, they're down 3. They could tie it, couldn't they?
Yeah, 5-yard penalty there with that movement. 1st and 15, so they dial up Jaden Wallace, and Wallace rips a big one, and he almost got all 15 back. It depends upon the spot at about the 24 or 23.
It's a first down.
Yeah, give him the first.
That's like that situation when Sheridan was first down and 21 and converted it for the first down.
Huge play there on 1st and long as Tri-Valley threatens the red zone to tie or take the lead down 3. They've been down this road before. They started 1-2 to Tri-Valley. They lost 2 close games to 2 quality opponents. They lost a 4-point game in the opener in Columbus to Sales with 30 seconds left. And they lost a 10-pointer in week 3 to Clinton Massey, only 3-time state champion.
Look out,
Here
look out.
Go, airborne. Oh, nearly intercepted by the Generals in the end zone.
Well, the receiver for Tri-Valley had to play defensive back on that one. Number 10 was the wide receiver, Keaton Hahn, but we have an injured man in the end zone. The defensive back who broke the play up is down.
So an injury on the field here currently with 10:29 left to go. It's another General player as the interception was nearly had. And it had happened, it had been 3 picks thrown by Max Lyle. He's thrown 2 in the first half. So they'll tend to the injured player. We see Sheridan next week at New Lexington down at Jim Rockwell Stadium, battle of Perry County teams. And, last year, quite the matchup as usual.
Game of the century.
Game of the century. Sheridan and New Lexington. We thought we had that one back in 2008 when both those teams were undefeated going into that game. Oh, by the way, that year, New Lex made it to state Final Four in 2008. So we'll see New Lex next week as they try to squeak into the playoffs in their division and region.
Who do I think? Morgan, New Lexington. What about?
They're playing for their playoff lives.
What about Meadowbrook? Are they close?
Meadowbrook was, and they have fallen off the bus. Tonight, this loss will really hurt them and probably knock the Colts out. So the injured player is rough down there, number 21 for Sheridan, as they bring him out with assistance. And that's not a good sign.
I walked into the stadium with his father tonight. Yeah, he was an old fighting ceramic at one time.
Interesting stuff.
Well before my time. I mean, the guy must be 86 years old, 87. But
speaking of which,
yep.
Well, 2005 was the last time Sheridan beat Tri-Valley here at home. That's hard to fathom. 8 straight wins for Tri-Valley on the road. You were just getting started back in 05 doing games, not on the sideline, that is, up here in the booth.
Yep.
Back from injury timeout. Tri-Valley down 3 with 10:29 left to go in the game. Line him up, spread the field. One back in Wallace, hands it to him. He was lined up to the left. He somehow gets off the would-be initial tackler to gain additional yardage and get to the 15.
Well, I think number 64, the linebacker for Sheridan, Sean Griffey, I think he had him at the line of scrimmage and put a hit on him that would have knocked down a Brahma bull, and Wallace just kept on going.
So you throw an incompletion, near interception on first down, 2nd and 10. You go back to Wallace, old reliable here tonight.
Yep.
As he turns out the yards. He's over the century mark. He's got the touchdown tonight for Tri-Valley.
Well, they're going to have 2 plays here to get a first down. I don't think we're going to see it in the air.
And he gets 8 there, 3rd and 2. They shift him to the left of Lyle. Lyle hands it off to Wallace, and Wallace, a man amongst bulls.
He's got a
that
first down.
Yep. He just continues to chug away. To the chagrin of the home crowd here.
Has anyone else carried the ball from scrimmage besides him?
I don't think so. I mean,
No,
I'm sitting
I
here
don't think so either.
recollecting. Did not see it on the stat sheet.
No.
It's been all Wallace all the time in the run game for Tri-Valley. And they have a first down and 10 after that run at the 11-yard line. They can pick up a first at the 1. They don't necessarily have to score a touchdown.
I think it must be the Southern Cal mentality for carrying the ball. It only weighs a pound.
Looking to
Look
pass. One-on-one, left corner of the end zone. It goes over the pylon, incomplete. Good coverage down there to say
Yes,
the least
it
by
was.
Sheridan.
That looks like number 11 for Sheridan. That would be Evan Anderson. And he's injured in there for the injured Bryson Ruff. So that's who they went after to pick on. Went with the same receiver.
The intended target
But Evan was having none of it.
was Keaton Hahn for Tri-Valley. And I mentioned Hahn. Hahn had a big win or big performance last week in the win for Tri-Valley over Philo in that shootout. He had 3 receiving touchdowns to Hahn in that game. Tried to get one there. Looking to pass. It sends a ball. His second of the night on a slant across the middle for the score to give the Scotty Dogs the lead.
Play action fake to Wallace. Held the linebackers in tight. And the slant was right behind him, and the ball was right on the money.
And that's going to make it 2017 in favor of Tri-Valley. This is a huge extra point for the kicking game.
Yes, it is.
Try to go up 4. Make it 21-17. Extra point try on the way from the left-footed kicker. It's good. A big one. 21-17. Scotties go up by 4 as Bode McCullough, one of the leading scorers, believe it or not, around the area. 3 for 3 tonight. He has
Another lead change.
He has 4 field goals on the year and 45 extra points, 59 points in all for McCullough. Nothing bigger right there to make it more than a field goal lead with 9 and change to go.
Interesting calls that time by Cam West after running the ball down there. Threw the ball on first down, incomplete, came right back on second down, which what they've done is they've gone with a pass on first down, then come back with a run to Wallace. Well, that time they went play action fake to Wallace. The linebackers stepped up to make the hit, and since the ball was open right behind him, the ball was right on the money. Great play call by Cam West.
So Max Lyle, though he has 2 interceptions here tonight, also has 2 touchdown passes, both to Sensiba on the receiving end from 38 and 11 yards out right there. And gives his team the lead here early in the 4th.
Kick it deep, down to the 5.
Run back out past the 15-20 and short of the 25-yard line where Sheridan's offense will now set up shop here. Most important possessions obviously coming right now here in the late stages of the game. Caden Sheridan about to bring out his teams. He looks to his wristband for the play calls, and Coach Paul Culver, the third, 3 and 4 lifetime in 7 previous trips and chances against Tri-Valley. Got a win last year. Scotties have won 4 out of the last 6, though, overall.
Cade Heindel is looks like he's having a little cramping issue out there. Tri-Valley player. He's being attended to. So play is stopped here with 8:57 to go in the game.
And so cramps, you haven't seen much of that of late in these games. We're getting into mid-October now, Friday the 13th. Again, here we go. That doesn't happen very often, but expect nothing less to come back up into the booth with you on a Friday night for that.
Well, you got Friday the 13th, and you get the guy running the Sheridan offense with that number on his back.
Yeah, exactly. Trying to make it lucky 13
I'll tell you what. It could be lightning in a bottle here.
So they,
we've seen Caden Sheridan throw the short passing game tonight, which is something we didn't see him do at all against Philo. Everything was down the field. Holy Al Davis time.
Yeah.
And so let's see what happens here. I mean, they have time to run the ball down the field. There's 9 minutes to go.
Plenty of time, like you said. 4 receivers, 3 to left, 1 back. It's a fake. Caden Sheridan trying to make that lucky 13 on the
Nice move.
And he puts his head down with the shoulder, and he gets a first down run with the impact at the end of the play.
You're going to have a hard time in the locker room from your teammates when you get run over by the quarterback.
12-yard pickup for Sheridan out to the 36. as we're nearing the 8.5-minute mark
Well,
left in the fourth.
Cam West told me before the game, the player we have to stop is Caden Sheridan. He said everything starts with him. Right now, that's who's the hopes of Sheridan's season is on his shoulders right now.
4 receivers again in the backfield is Hines this time. He gets the carry up to the 40. He had a nice burst. Actually, knee down at the 39 for 3. So the Generals trying to vary a little bit. You had a Sheridan design run left, and now Hines getting some work in the fourth quarter of the carry. That'll make it 2nd and 7 for the Sheridan offense. They're trying to stop an 8-game home losing streak to Tri-Valley. Again, it's been since 2005.
Jason Munyon has played both ways the entire game. So with the running backs they have, they can rest him for a little bit.
Generals also looking to make it 2 wins in a row against the
what's
Scotties
this?
and stay unbeaten at 9-0, and a fake, and you see somehow Caden Sheridan able to pick up a yard to the 40. That play was very interesting to say the least.
Well, the running back and the motion man collided at the handoff point, at the handoff juncture, and just destroyed the timing of the play. Sheridan was lucky to hang on to the ball and pick up a yard on that thing. Wow, that could have been a disaster.
That's well put. Exactly what happened. The timing was disrupted. Fortunate to get a yard. As you said, 3rd down now, though, for this General offense. They need 6 yards. Got to get to the 46. 3 receivers right, 4 receivers total. Throwing right, incomplete, nobody at home.
Nobody there.
Winders went a few yards too far, or Sheridan threw it too short. There was some miscommunication. And that means 4th down, punt time for the Generals, unless they have a trick up their sleeve. We've seen it once already with Tri-Valley with a fake. On to punt, Munyon. He's kicked it away 3 times, all in the first half.
Well, if I was going to have somebody fake a punt, it would be him.
Stands at the 25, gets a snap, light pressure. High kick, not necessarily a deep one.
Where's it at? Oh, my, there it is.
Hits at the 32 and out of bounds it goes. Let's see where they mark it. So no return off the punt of Munyon. And the Tri-Valley offense has a chance to seal the deal and make it 6 wins in a row in the season. Get back and avenge the loss from last year at home to Sheridan. Continue their dominant ways here in Thornville as well. And ruin Sheridan's undefeated season, no less, with a division championship in the Big School division as well on the line. I think I'm done.
Well, I think you covered it there pretty well, Hank. That's exactly what I was going to say.
30-yard line, they'll mark it where it hit out of bounds with 6:49 to go. A touchdown could clinch it. Field goal keeps it a 1-score game. Sheridan wants to stop him and get it back quickly, and right now they got to stop Jaden Wallace as Wallace nears another 1st down run to the 40. I don't know how he stayed up. He kept them legs moving.
Well, regardless of what happens in this game, if you x-ray number 2's chest, his heart's going to have champion stamped right on top of it. What an effort.
And it was a 1st down run, just enough, 10 yards exactly for Wallace as he continues his big night. And Tri-Valley will use some of this clock. 3 timeouts remaining for Sheridan. Keep that in mind. Tri-Valley has 2. With a lead, they don't care to use them unless there's a problem.
They need to move the chains here, though.
Wallace gets it, left side run, and he's going to get to about the 44 for about 4 yards on 1st down. Midway point, 4th quarter. Get to these stages as a former coach, and obviously you feel it again up here in the booth, I'm sure, Doug. What are you thinking on the other side? You're Culver III, coaching his team to get the ball back.
There's no worse feeling in the world than you're down 4 points and there's 5:43 to go in the game and your team doesn't have the ball. I mean, that clock just seems like it's on fire going so fast. And it's running down to 5:30 right now.
Wallace gets it, and
1st down.
Continues to pick up 1st down runs. Over on the Sheridan side of the field to the 46. 10 more in the books it goes for.
I mean, everybody in town knows number 2 is going to get the ball. Everybody in town knows. Everybody in the bleachers, the field, the sidelines. Now I'm wondering if Cam West is going to pull a fast one on us here and throw one down the field because he's done some crazy stuff tonight. But I tell you what, he's got money in the bank with number 2 there carrying the ball.
You just never know.
We're going to be under 5 minutes when this play snapped. Sheridan, they haven't had an opportunity to even use a timeout here because these guys are getting first downs.
Here's Wallace as they just snap it before the play clock runs out, and he's taken down to a minimal gain, to say the least, for 2 on this carry.
And that looked like a little fatigue catching up with Wallace on that one. He popped that thing to the outside, and I think early in the game he would have broken that. Great job that time by the defense to stop him.
Will they go back to Wallace?
4.5 minutes to go. Clock running.
2nd and 8 at the Sheridan 44-yard line. 4:25 and moving the game clock. As you have 3 receivers out there, 2 to the left. As Lyle gets the call right now from the sidelines with 6 to snap it. Shifting to the right is Wallace. Man in motion to the tight end. Slowly, and Wallace slowly moves forward to the 41 for 3 more. Stacked up there, ball pops free. Progress stopped, however.
Well, he went through that. He went into the line of scrimmage and he covered that ball with both arms. I mean, he's just running for seconds now. He's not running for yards. He's just running for ticks on that clock.
And that clock continues to grind away.
3rd down.
Huge play for the Sheridan defense. They want any chance, get a stop right here. 3 down linemen, 4 backers, and 4 receivers for the secondary to cover.
So the defense is giving themselves a shot. The Generals have held them to just 4 yards in 2 plays.
Shotgun snap.
He's going to throw it.
Wallace did not get it. Now look to dump to him. Lyle still on his feet somehow and dives forward to the 40. Well short of the first down, and they did not run it. They decided to pass. It didn't work.
But the clock's still running. Sheridan does not use a timeout. They're going to let that clock run down to the last second, and then they're going to call a timeout. I mean, Tri-Valley is. They're not going to run a play, and then they're going to – here comes their punt team.
The humdinger, to say the least, as the punt team, they say, trickles in for Tri-Valley. Looks like they're going to kick it.
And they're liable to take a delay of game penalty on purpose.
Clock nearing 2.5 to go in the game. 4-point Tri-Valley lead. And we have whistles prior to this because it is the delay game as you figured. 5 yards back, stops the clock at 2:32. Winders will be back for the return if he has a chance for Sheridan.
Oh. Okay, Sheridan's making some big substitutions here.
Little chess match, cat and mouse.
Yep. They're ready for that fake. And this is their punt return team now.
Winders stands at his 10. Here comes some pressure from Munyon from the side, and it's a high kick. Winders wants to let it go. Bounces at the 20-yard line favorably for the Scotties, and it's going to be touched down at about the 11. So with 2:19 left to go and no return off of that punt of 34 yards on a hop, 89 yards is what the Sheridan Generals have to do to take the lead and try to stay undefeated and in the Demons on Friday the 13th and get a win at home against Tri-Valley. 8 straight losses here to them.
Well, if you want to be a champion, it's 89 yards away. If anybody can do it, the guys in the red can do it.
And this isn't just a team that is consistently running the football. They have great balance that they've adapted to over the years.
I think we're going to see A.J. Winders factor in this series right now.
They have other receivers that can get it done, including Ruff, number 21, back in the game. Remember,
Yes, he is.
He left earlier.
Well, Tri-Valley is crowding the receivers.
Looking that way towards Ruff with Sheridan. He's going to take it and run with it. And he's past that line of scrimmage, so he committed, and Tri-Valley brought 2 defenders up and pushed him out of bounds at about the 13.
Great job that time by Sheridan. He had nobody open. He didn't try to run the length of the field. He ran out of bounds and stopped the clock.
And so the gain only goes for 1. They'll mark it at the 12 when he went out, stopping the clock, 2:11 to go. 3 timeouts for the Generals is crucial in their comeback effort.
He can't take a sack. They take a sack, they're going to have, besides losing yardage, they may have to burn a timeout. Here comes the pass rush. They're crowding the receivers. They're not giving them easy release.
5 receivers, and Winders off his chest pad Incomplete at the 27 as he had to go low diving for it.
That would have been a first down.
Instead, it's 3rd and 9 for the General offense. 2 plays, and they give it back to Tri-Valley. You know they're going to have to go for it.
Well, Tri-Valley's secondary is not walking off. They're up in the faces of the wide receivers. They're challenging them at the line of scrimmage. They're taking away that quick passing game. See if they continue to do it here on 3rd down. And boy, there they are. They couldn't get any closer unless they were in their shoes.
Sheridan out of the gun, gets that snap, looks right, looks left, in trouble, has to throw before he gets hit, and incomplete. 3 Scotties in the air. He's overshot his target at the 35.
And I think Bryson Ruff was open behind everybody. I don't think Caden Sheridan saw him.
Jacob Householder was the receiver in the vicinity off that incompleted pass. And it's now 4th down time for the Generals with 2 minutes exactly left to play in the 4th quarter here. Tri-Valley gets a stop. You're one more play away from winning this one on the road and going 6 wins in a row and giving Sheridan their first loss.
See if they try to hit somebody over the middle of the field.
Caden Sheridan looking to pass. Flush. He's got plenty of time all day, Doug. Downfield to Ruff, and
He's got it!
A miracle has happened on 4th down.
Oh, we got a flag.
Oh, and that flag could potentially crush Sheridan, to say the least, on a 40-yard connection downfield to Ruff.
It's a holding call.
Would have been on the other side of the 50 in Tri-Valley territory, all for naught.
You know, I really don't have a dog in this race, so I don't care who wins. It's a great game. I didn't want to see it decided like that. I mean, decided with the kids in white and kids in red, not the guys in the stripes. That's a shame.
You're right, because we could have had much more
Oh,
dramatics on the line with about 50 yards of real estate to go in a 4-point game. And new life breathed into Sheridan. Now they got to do it again, breathe life, and get a first down on 4th down and long as they move it back 5 more yards.
And one more try.
At the 6-yard line.
Those DBs are right in their faces, those receivers. They're not giving them an easy release.
4th down, 15. Could be a safety. Hit as he throws. Wounded duck. Downfield at the 24. Incomplete. Tri-Valley's defender draped on the receiver Householder, but both players were making a play at the ball. No call, and it's incomplete. And turning it over on downs are the Generals as Tri-Valley will set it up. 1st and goal at the 6 with just 1:26 to play and a 4-point lead.
Wow. And that's how an undefeated season disappears.
That's how the air can go right out of that balloon with it. You name it.
What a pass and catch on the previous play by Ruff. He went up for that ball, came down with it. He was across the 50, wasn't he? I mean, that was.
Yep. He caught that just on the other side of the 50-yard line. What could have been. Look back at this. Now remember, Sheridan does have 3 timeouts. That is a very fortunate thing here. So there's still the doors ajar. If they can hold them on 3 straight plays, use those timeouts.
All right, somebody didn't go on the field for Tri-Valley. The timeout's called. Lyle called timeout. It looked like he had a Notre Dame play in there, and
10 players.
And called timeout. That's what we were talking about today. A friend of mine and I'd played college football with Dan Feeney, and you know we always hear about the high academic standards that it takes to be a player at Notre Dame.
Absolutely.
Apparently,
you only need 10 on the field.
It doesn't apply to all of the guys on the team.
As you poke the jabs,
understandably
so.
You got to have somebody on the coaching staff that can count to 10. I know I had one, and it wasn't me. I know that.
Right here, Tri-Valley trying to get it right with the right personnel, the right number of players on the field. A touchdown will clinch it for good. If somehow Sheridan is able to hold or get a turnover for Tri-Valley, they have a chance. Still in the waning moments. Minute 24 left to go. 4-point Tri-Valley lead, 21-17. They'll come out, line up in the shotgun, hand off Jaden Williams, and Jaden goes right on in for a touchdown. Yet again, Jaden Wallace hammers it home from 6 yards out with 1:20 left to play. Tri-Valley's now up 2 scores at 27-17.
Well, that took all the what-ifs out of the situation, didn't it?
And that should be your nail in the coffin. Just 80 ticks left to go.
Well, I know somebody's going to say, well, they should have taken more time to score. Well, not really. I mean, they're going to have a 10-point lead now. They have a 2-score lead. Could be 11 points if this kick goes through.
As we wait that to make it an 11-point lead for Wallace. That would be his 2nd touchdown of the night. Tri-Valley's 4th total of the evening. There's the snap, the hold, and the kick for point 28, up and true. 11-point lead, 28-17. 2 years ago, they came in here and won by 15, 21-6. Tight game last year, lost at home to Sheridan by a digit. Getting it done here in the second half late are the Scotties tonight. And you just saw a huge shift to what it looked like Sheridan might have had a chance around midfield on a pass completion on a 4th down conversion, deep ball. The penalty crushed them. They did not get the 4th down conversion after all. In the very next play, you just saw the touchdown for Tri-Valley go up 2 scores.
After the penalty, it really never had a chance. Sheridan was being hit as he threw it, and the ball was just a wounded duck going through the air, and he just threw it to get rid of it so he wouldn't take a safety. Give his player, somewhat of a chance, but Householder had no chance to get to the ball.
So scoring picking up here, and just throwing this out there for you because, well, you almost have a basketball score going on between West Muscatine and Coshocton in Coshocton. Tornadoes you saw last week win at Morgan, Doug, 50-40 after 3 quarters over the Skins. Cisse with just 5 more touchdowns for 35 on the year. As West Tip continues to rock and roll, probably see them again in 2 weeks. Book that one in the playoffs. Here we go. 11-point lead now, Tri-Valley. With 1:20 to go, off the bounce at the 15. Actually, the roll, and Sheridan will run it out 15 yards to the 30.
Well, you can fair catch kickoffs and all that, but then that not that kickoff. I mean, that thing bounced down the field. It's a great job by the special teams for Tri-Valley to make a kick like that, force Sheridan to field it.
They'll place it at the 31-yard line as the Generals are in dire straits. Down 2 scores now. First time that has happened tonight. Sheridan had a 2-score lead earlier at 10-0, but who would have thought? Tri-Valley's outscored them 28-7 since. As they try to come in here, make it 9 straight in Thornville, 6 straight to go to 7-2.
Well, Caden Sheridan saw they had 12 guys in the huddle, and he sent one of the guys out.
And Caden's in trouble as he's flushed to the right, running out of room, throws it back against the grain and incomplete behind his receiver. Winders at the 40.
Well, I think that's been one of the big differences in this game is Tri-Valley has really applied a lot of pressure most of the time. Whenever there's a drop back pass, they've had a lot of pressure on Sheridan. And when they haven't, that's when he made that long pass to Winders on that one drive. So I think they kind of learned their lesson. They're teeing off from their 3-point stances. See how many of these guys rush this time and how many guys drop. 2nd down and 10.
And you're right, life has been difficult for Caden tonight. On the year, 16 touchdowns to 1 interception and over 1,300 yards coming in. He's having a fantastic year, but frustrated tonight. Downfield pass here in coverage, and it's blanket coverage. Sensabaugh knocks it away at near the midfield for another incompleted pass.
It's a 3-man rush, and the right defensive end is whipping the left tackle right now. I mean, he was putting pressure on Sheridan. Just one step away from having a sack. Who is that? That's 53. Is that Chris Gargas? Yes, he's a heck of a pass rusher.
He was making a difference in the game last year before he got hurt. Departed and didn't come back, and he's made a difference here tonight for this Tri-Valley front.
And, they're not worried about the run at all here. They're strictly in pass rush mode.
5 receivers, 3 to the left, including Munyon slot left, and now in trouble again is Sheridan. And it's that man again hitting him as he throws, and it falls short at the 42 of his intended target downfield. Who put on that pressure? You just called his name, Doug, and he continues to be a beast for the defense.
He used a complete spin move on a tackle, and when he came out of it, he wasn't in position to make the sack because Sheridan rolled to his left Gargis come out of that spin and chase him down and put a big hit on him just as he released the ball, and that thing went up like a wounded pigeon.
Rather than duck.
Yeah,
Either way.
It wasn't even a duck.
It was wounded.
He didn't even get to the duck status. I don't know. Just pigeon.
And now it's 4th down and 10 after all these wounded passes and incompletions get knocked down.
And on the first 3 plays here, Caden Sheridan hasn't had a chance to set his feet and throw the ball one time. I mean, he's under heavy pressure on every throw, and it's a 3-man rush.
And so they want to talk it over with 58 seconds left to go. Of an 11-point Scotty lead at 28-17. Next week we'll see these Generals again. It looks like they'll have now 1 L in that lost column, barring a miracle minute here for the Generals. They'll be on the road at New Lexington next week. We'll give it to you, Jim Rockwell Stadium, as we wind down week 10 of the regular season prior to the playoffs in a couple weeks. It's come by so fast, hasn't it?
I can't get over it. It's week 9 in the high school football season. It's not even Halloween yet.
It will be then in the playoffs,
and
just
so,
about.
But it's been an exciting season. This is by far the most exciting game we've done all year, I believe.
Absolutely has been.
And,
agreed.
And of course, next week we'll see that Perry County rivalry.
Expect another slugfest between those two.
New Lexington has a young team this year, all sophomores on the offensive line.
As we have 5 receivers after this 4th down. Timeout called, and the pass incomplete, looking Ruff's direction. Would have been close to the marker for the first, but it's too high. And Sheridan turns it over on downs for a 2nd straight time. This one puts that final nail in.
If it hadn't been too high, Cam Carnes would have had an interception for Tri-Valley.
So with 52 seconds left, Scotties get the ball at the 31-yard line of Sheridan. Looking to put a knee on things. Generals do have 2 timeouts. See if they elect to use them for what it's worth, down 2 scores with under $1 to play. So mentioned Sheridan New Lex on tap next week. Tri-Valley with the win here tonight. They get John Glenn and the Muskies next week. John Glenn was beating Philo. That happens. And John Glenn somehow beats Tri-Valley next week. The Muskies had a sensational year under Matt Edwards with just 1 defeat to the Sheridan Generals, 14-0 4 weeks ago. Then you could have a 3-way tie in the big school division if that would take place.
Well, John Glenn has just kind of been that team no one's talked about a whole lot, and they're right where they need to be.
Yes, they are. Play really good defense. Offenses here and there, hit or miss. If their offense shows up to play with that defense, John Glenn will be a handful. There's your final knee on things here in the final 20 seconds. No more plays necessary, needed. As the Scotties will run the clock out, jubilant bunch as they should be, coming down here to Thornville, taking on what was an undefeated Sheridan team and #1 ranked in their division and region in D3 Region 11, no longer. Scotties have now won 6 straight on the year after starting 1-2. They go to 7-2. Sheridan slips to 8-1. Yep, 9 straight wins here in Thornville. Not since 05 have Sheridan beat Tri-Valley here. That streak continues after the result here tonight of 28-17, Doug.
Well, Sheridan's players are they're crushed. I mean, they're just so disappointed. They wanted this game so badly. I'm watching number 5, A.J. Wenders. I mean, these kids played their hearts out, and don't tell them it's just a game.
It's not.
It's not just a game. It's not just a game.
Well, you also think about it, this was the last home game of the year for Sheridan, at least during the regular season on senior night. And they lose it at home here to the Tri-Valley Scotties, who come into town under Cam West. He's now 2-2 in his 4 meetings against Sheridan. Paul Culver III will slip to 3-5 in 8 meetings against the Scotties, as the Scotties exact revenge from last year's 1-point loss at home at Jack Anderson Stadium. When Doug and I come back here on the MVL Game of the Week presented by Community Bank, we'll give you the final wrap on things in your final. Tri-Valley 28, Sheridan 17. Back here at Paul Culver Jr. Stadium, Hank up with Doug Clifford as we see the wraps on this one play out tonight in Thornville. The Tri-Valley Scotties come in and win. 6 straight wins now for the Scotties, 9 straight against the Generals here in Thornville. Sheridan's undefeated season now over. They were 8-0 coming in and ranked number 1 in the division region. No longer. We roll into the highlights, Doug, and I tell you, Sheridan got off first. They scored a field goal in the first quarter on a McKinney kick, and they were strong at the outset, but Tri-Valley turned on in the second quarter.
Well, when we looked at the box score, Sheridan won the first and third, and Tri-Valley won the second and fourth, and that fourth quarter is so important. And that's when the Scotties came back to life.
So it was 3-0 Generals after 1 in the second quarter. Justin Munyon would make it 10-0 Generals thanks to an interception thrown by Max Lau of Tri-Valley. And you think the Generals might run away with things early in the second, but nope. Tri-Valley scores 14 points in the second. Jaden Wallace, his first of 2 touchdowns from 15 yards out, made it 10-7. Lyle then goes 38 yards to Ashton Sensabaugh, and it was 14-10 at the break, but Sheridan comes out strong again in the third.
How big was that touchdown by Tri-Valley at the end of the half? I mean, had they not scored, they're down 2 scores at that point. They cut it to 3, and then in the fourth quarter, they put 2 more on the board, and that was it.
They did. Munyon gives Sheridan the lead in the third quarter. The only points of the quarter, 17-14. Generals going to the fourth, and then Tri-Valley gets the 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. Lyle finds Sensabaugh again from 11 yards out, and Jaden Wallace, a 6-yard touchdown run to cap it off. So Wallace had 2 touchdown runs, well over the century mark on the ground. He was magnificent. And then you had Sensabaugh with 2 touchdowns receiving, despite Lyle throwing 2 interceptions. On the flip side, Munyon, 2 touchdowns rushing in the defeat.
Well, the touchdown pass to Sensabaugh was a great call because they'd gone pass, run on first and second down all the way down the field. They passed on first down. It was incomplete. And they ran a play-action fake to Wallace. And, the linebacker stepped up to make that play. And Sensabaugh was right behind him. And Lyle tossed that ball in there right on the money, and he walked in the end zone.
Much anticipated game as it was, and it was a seesaw affair. Basically, the beginning of the halves were Sheridan's, and the end of the halves were Tri-Valley, and that's what mattered most. At the end of the game, Tri-Valley got it done.
Well, 2 great teams, 2 great coaching staffs. What a pleasure to be here. We're always treated so well at Sheridan. This one of those nights when, you see one of these teams go home as a loser, but their season will extend beyond week 10.
Fourth quarter there, 21-17. Who could forget that holding penalty? What could have been a 4th down conversion near midfield, way downfield for Sheridan, and that ended all hopes. They would turn it over, failing on downs on the next play, and then Tri-Valley put it a touchdown in to cap it.
Great catch by Bryson Rumpf, all for nothing.
Yeah, 28-17. Congrats to Tri-Valley tonight and picking up a nice road victory, to say the least, over what was an undefeated Sheridan team as the Generals slipped to 8-1. Tri-Valley 7-2. Playoffs, though, looming for both teams coming up. But next week, Week 10, regular season finale, Tri-Valley has John Glenn on the docket, and we get New Lexington at home to try to beat Sheridan again.
Tri-Valley will have to come to play again next week, too. That's not going to be a walk in the park.
Well, it's been a pleasure. Thanks for tuning in on this Friday night, Friday the 13th, as Tri-Valley escapes and earned this victory here tonight. Doug, we'll see you next week down in New Lex. It's been wonderful.
Short drive for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Until next Friday, have a great weekend and next week, everybody.